Another opportunity for the Grayson County Cougars to get inch closer towards their second straight district championship, a mark that has never happened in the history of the program. A win today, and that magic number becomes only one for the Cougs to repeat as champions. And a good evening and welcome high atop North Bullitt High School for tonight's coverage of Cougar football on K105. Sam Gormley and Ken Hallett with you. And Ken, Grayson County 2-0 in district play, taking on a 2-0 North Bullitt team playing on their senior night. This is going to be a tough test for this Grayson County team.
No question about that. This team, the crowd seems to be pretty juiced up. Lots of students here. Nice ceremony before the game, so they're ready to see a victory tonight. So I expect it to be a tough game against a pretty tough defense.
Grayson County enters with a 5-1 record, 4 straight wins for the orange and blue, with a win and a Seneca loss. Seneca is playing more tonight. The Cougars will host a playoff game for the second straight season. That's only happened once in program history. Ken, ironically enough, the team that Grayson County played in both of those home playoff games in back-to-back seasons was North Bullitt.
Awesome.
We're kind of coming back around to that.
So what was our record in those 2 games?
You're putting me on the spot.
Oh.
North Bullitt
you know
enters
everything.
with a 4-2
I thought you would know
record
that.
and a 2-0 in district play. With a win and a Moore loss, the Eagles will clinch their first home playoff game since 2020. They've had an interesting last couple of weeks. Head coach Jason Schum was named the interim coach on September the 12th following the abrupt resignation of Alex Carbello, who resigned 24 hours prior to their game against East Jessamine. Coming up on our Locker Room Show, we'll introduce you to both teams, talk to head coach Brian Jones, and get you ready with Ken's Keys. That comes up and more on K105.
Midway Pharmacy is your trusted local partner in health and wellness, offering free delivery so you never have to worry about picking up your medications. The friendly staff knows you by name and is always ready to assist you. Living and raising our families in the same community, they understand your needs. With a wide range of services and personalized care, Midway Pharmacy is here to make your life easier and healthier. Visit or call any countywide location today of Midway Pharmacy.
When we have the food we need, we are at our best. We push further. We rise higher. We unlock our full potential. When we have the food we need, we make our communities stronger. Together, we can help everyone get the food they need to thrive. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Struggling to pay your house payment? Apply for the Team Kentucky Homeowner Assistance Fund today at protectmykyhome.org. It provides up to $60,000 for Kentuckians with a COVID-related financial hardship. The money can be used for mortgage bills, utility payments, insurance premiums, property taxes, and HOA fees. Applicants must meet certain criteria to receive assistance. Check your eligibility today at protectmykyhome.org. This ad was sponsored by Kentucky Housing Corporation and this station.
Smith Overhead Door isn't just about opening and closing. We're about safety, security, and style for your home or business. As a Future Designs company, we're lifting expectations across Grayson and surrounding counties with top brands like CHI and Chamberlain.
Hey there, I'm Kevin Brooks with Smith Overhead Door. Whether it's a sturdy LiftMaster for your garage or a sleek Clopay door for your shop, we install and service with a commitment to reliability. Smith Overhead Door, we're opening up possibilities.
Secure your entrance at sohd.info.
Cougar football on K105.
Welcome back here to North Bullitt High School. Grayson County and the Eagles of North Bullitt inching closer towards getting ready. North Bullitt enters with a 4-2 record. Caden Dorsey, the starting quarterback, 21 of 43 for 355 yards. But where this North Bullitt team is going to hang their hat, it's running the football, averaging 6.6 yards per carry, 214.3 yards a game on the ground. And, Ken, what they're going to do is they're going to run a lot of different stuff at Grayson County today. Evan Ernspiker, he is your power back where he's just going to run it right at you and tell you to stop it. He's carried it 69 times for just shy of 500 yards. Avery Kelly, kind of your speed back to make sure on sweep plays and so on, 23 carries for 220 yards. And Jaden Rowan, 16 times for 211 yards, an average of 13.2 yards per carry. This is a team that wants to run the football, and if Grayson County can slow that down, they're going to win the game.
I agree.
It's that simple.
This is, that touches on one of my keys is stopping the run. That's going to be key tonight. This team has 3 players that averages at least 42 yards a carry, 42 yards a game, with Ernst Parker leading the way at 91.2 yards per game.
Defensively, they average giving up just about 26 points a game, 109 on the ground, 110 through the air. This is a team that Grayson County can move the football at, but what they're very good at, 11 interceptions. Through the 6 games this season, leads Class 5A, and is 5th overall in the state. We'll take a break. Grayson County, big opportunity for them. We'll take a break, introduce you to them after this. Cougar football on K105.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. Innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Bob with Hometown Hangout Sports Pub and Grill. You might have noticed we don't have fancy decor or celebrity chefs. It's true, we've ignored the trend of upscale dining and extravagant renovations. That gets pretty expensive, you know. And in the end, it's the customer who pays for those upgrades. Not at Hometown Hangout. Our guests come to us for one thing, to have a great time. Whether you're with the family, the whole team, or just friends, you'll love our fun atmosphere, exciting games, and great food. Hometown Hangout on West White Oak. See you after the game.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Cougar football on K105.
Welcome back to North Bullitt High School. Grayson County 5-1 record taking on North Bullitt at 4-2. Cougars, Colby Chafin's starting quarterback, passed for 467 yards, but it's been the run game the past couple of weeks. Ken, pretty much since you left, the run game started to work really well. I'm not sure if there's anything that ties into
correlation
that,
there. Right.
But Caden Hanshaw, 116 times for 792 yards and 11 touchdowns. He is right now 208 yards away from 1,000 already. He crossed the 1,000 mark last year in the Breckenridge County game, so he's pretty much on the same pace that he was a year ago. Hanshaw, second in Class 5A in rushing yards. Ethan Mudd, the power back, 40 attempts for 213 yards. The defense has been up and down at times this year, and this is going to be a big game for them. Allowing only 14.7 points per game, giving up 143 on the ground, 114 through the air. Caden Hanshaw, though, has been one of the keys on that defense. He started the season as linebacker, played a little in the secondary, and now he's lining up at defensive end and has been a major factor for that Grayson County team on the edge. 9 tackles for a loss this year for Caden Hanshaw. That is a very high number, but he's one of those guys that, he could probably play left tackle today because he's just a great athlete. Well,
and to give some perspective and context to the 9 tackles for loss, I believe North Bullitt only has 11 on the whole for the whole season.
I think you are correct.
Somewhere right in that area.
Brian Jones, head coach. We'll take a break and bring you his conversation after this. This is Cougar football on K105.
Let's go! Like Deadpool and Wolverine, you can be a hero.
Now that's a superhero landing.
Save a best friend for life at a shelter near you.
Us? A team? The answer is yes.
Yeah! Look at you! She's coming with us!
No, she's not.
Oh, yes.
Visit bestfriends.org today and bring love home.
That's my girl!
How do you define success? Is it in the mastery of skills, in teamwork, in responsibility and self-discipline? Is it found through communication or through problem solving, innovation? Is it in the inches of small victories that lead down miles of self-discovery to a destination where potential and purpose meet? Prepared and confident, Grayson County Schools. Success is what you make it.
My name is Irene. My job is community school coordinator. My mom taught us that it doesn't matter how much money you have, you can always find a way to help. We started the pantry because the needs were so great. We're very fortunate to have the food bank just a few miles down. I just want our kids to experience what other kids experience and learn to say, what do I want to be when I grow up? And not worry about food.
You get out the door with Smith Overhead Door at sohd.info. We're not just opening doors, we're opening possibilities.
Cougar football.
Welcome back to the Locker Room Show here on K105. Sam Gormley now joined by Coach Brian Jones from the Grayson County Cougars. Coach, you had that rain game last week where it rained for the majority of the game. Can you still learn stuff on film from that? Can you learn more? Can you learn less? Or does rain really have no impact when you're watching the film?
Well, I think it makes everybody a little bit more one-dimensional, and the longer that game went on, the tougher it was to throw. And, of course, we only had 3 attempts, I think. We stuck to the run game, and it was working for us, so we had no need to try to get out of it. Of course, they had fallen behind and needed to try to throw late and had several drops due to, the conditions. But obviously we can still look and see how our line's playing and what we're doing at the line of scrimmage. Are we winning the blocks? Are we moving the line of scrimmage and different things like that from an offensive perspective? And then from our defense perspective, they were still trying to throw it some, so we got to see our guys, in pass rush lanes and some different things. Are we playing flat? And so definitely still some value to it. It just in game, I think, makes things a little bit more predictable, especially for us. I mean, here we are over the last 2 weeks. I think we've had 8 passing attempts. So, run game's been good for us, and that's something that we want to try to hang our hat on. But I think we're going to have to be able to rely a little bit more on our pass game as we continue to move through this season.
Versatility is something I think that can take a player from being good to great. On defense, you've got a pretty versatile guy in Caden Hanshaw. Last year, he's a corner, started this year at linebacker, and now he's a defensive end. There are not many guys that can play all 3 of those and play it at the level that he is. What does versatility do for him, but also for just a player in general?
Well, I mean, for our team, it does us a huge amount of good because we're able to scheme some things based on what somebody else is trying to do. And so, our 5 technique is a area that we've had some struggles. We felt like he was doing a decent job at outside linebacker, but really felt that he could help us slow down the outside run game by being at the end. And he's had a couple of sacks from there. He's played a little safety when we've been in some long down situations for us. We put him in the back end, and he's just a smart football player. He's got a high IQ, and then his athleticism plus size allows him to play multiple positions. He can play kind of right down the middle of the field there from linebacker, safety to defensive end because of size and speed, and then he just helps us by having a high understanding of the game, but also what we're trying to do, which has just helped us in a lot of ways defensively and finally get away from one of those one-score games.
After the game last week, we talked about grasping opportunity and understanding the opportunity that is in front of you. Is that something you can teach, their teammates have to teach, or it can only come from within to learn how to grasp an opportunity like that?
I think it's a learning experience from within. When you're successful, when an opportunity presents itself, you feel a certain way. And when you're unsuccessful, I think that's probably potentially the greatest learning experience is an opportunity presents itself, you're unsuccessful, and then you can reflect on what was my preparation? Was I prepared for the opportunity when it presented itself? And if the answer is no, well, then I've got to change what I'm doing. If the answer was yes, it just may be that that opportunity got by and keep doing what you're doing. But I would say that a lot of situations, preparation could probably be better. And so then, those guys work harder, whether it be the weight room or film time or, drills and different things like that. And so you change the level which you prepare so that when you get the next opportunity, you have a greater chance of success. One of the things that we talk about, to the kids is, and I've used it for a number of years, we also teach English while we're at football, and it's a literary term. And that is, prior preparation prevents poor performance. And so we talk about preparing so that when that door opens, you're ready. You may be a backup and you've sat here for 6 games and not got very many plays. 3 plays into tonight's game, somebody gets hurt. Here's your opportunity. You're going to make the most of it, or do we have to go to the next guy? And so that is something that we discuss. And so obviously we're trying to teach those things, but until an opportunity comes and you either are good or not, it's kind of hard for them to understand and learn.
Offensively, North Bullitt is going to do a lot of different things to run the football. They're going to run jet sweeps. They're going to run it right at you. They're going to go outside. How challenging is that for a defense to slow down an offense that can run the ball so many different ways?
Well, I think you've got to try to prepare to stop the things that they hang their hat on first. And for us, we feel like that is, kind of the off tackle, option game, running the veer, the triple option. We feel like that is probably where they want to hang their hat the most. And then a few plays that complement that, the jet sweeps and things like that, we're just going to have to do a good job when those come. But that's not something that they're going to run 20 times tonight. You may see it 2 or 3 times, and hopefully we'll recognize it early enough to come up and make a play and those kind of things. But for us, it's stopping, the fullback dive on veer, and those guys, sticking to their assignment, getting him on the ground. But when the quarterback pulls it, do we have our linebackers out there ready for the quarterback in the pitch? And I feel like, if we're struggling in that, that is something we could see 20 times tonight. So we've got to be ready for that. And I felt like last year we did a really nice job against it. And, hopefully we can have that same success tonight.
Defensively, they've intercepted 11 passes this year. Is that something they do scheme-wise? And if so, how do you exploit that? And then just as a whole, how do you move the ball?
Well, again, we're going to try to establish a solid run game first, and use the pass game to complement and supplement our run game. And I think, they've got some really talented athletes that play in the secondary, and they just are in the right places at the right time. I think they got one guy with 4 or 5 interceptions by himself, and one of their safeties, and they just do a great job with 50-50 balls. They've gotten a lot of those, deep passes that are jump balls that sometimes you have to take those shots. But then they also do some other things schematically where they'll use their safeties to rob, the 10-yard, 15-yard in and out routes that a lot of people use in either flood or the what we call Y shallow, and you get the dig behind it. They use those safeties to kind of rob those routes, which is, I think, hard for a high school quarterback to see because typically you're high-lowing a middle defender like a linebacker, and then you got this safety dropping down to take, some of those routes. Whereas in theory, the deep ball should be there, but for a high school quarterback to see the first, second, and third level is a pretty complex idea for them to grasp. So, last year for us, they did some of the same things, and it resulted in us throwing we ran flood, and Grayson Chaffins was running, by himself down the sideline, and Colby caught him for a touchdown on our near sideline heading to that end zone. And we've talked a little bit about that because you don't see that every week. Typically your safeties are stay deep, nobody gets behind you. And for them, it's not always that. They see an out route or they see a deep in route, and they're coming down So it may open some things up behind them, and we've discussed that, and we'll see how that plays out when we throw the ball. But first and foremost, we're going to come out and try to establish a run game.
Coach, good luck. More comes up in the locker room show after this.
Owensboro Health offers excellent care for your entire family. Close to home in Grayson County with locations in Litchfield, Big Clifty, and Caneyville. Our primary care providers are experts in managing high blood pressure, diabetes, and other chronic conditions, so you can stay healthy and feel your best. Make an appointment today with one of our primary care providers at owensborohealth.org/primary care.
Are you looking for more in this world? Then we are looking for you. The big-hearted, the bold, those driven by purpose. We are the Peace Corps, volunteers, partners, communities in more than 60 countries, bringing our experience, joy, and passion to building a better world together. Are you ready to serve boldly, to go the distance to make a difference? Then we have a place where you belong. Join us.
When you're on a boat, it's a joyful exploration of life.
I don't know. Cougar football on K105.
Grayson County and North Bullitt comes up next here on K105.
Midway Pharmacy is your trusted local partner in health and wellness, offering free delivery so you never have to worry about picking up your medications. The friendly staff knows you by name and is always ready to assist you. Living and raising our families in the same community, they understand your needs. With a wide range of services and personalized care, Midway Pharmacy is here to make your life easier and healthier. Visit or call any countywide location today of Midway Pharmacy.
When we have the food we need, we are at our best. We push further. We rise higher. We unlock our full potential. When we have the food we need, we make our communities stronger. Together, we can help everyone get the food they need to thrive. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Struggling to pay your house payment? Apply for the Team Kentucky Homeowner Assistance Fund today at protectmykyhome.org. It provides up to $60,000 for Kentuckians with a COVID-related financial hardship. The money can be used for mortgage bills, utility payments, insurance premiums, property taxes, and HOA fees. Applicants must meet certain criteria to receive assistance. Check your eligibility today at protectmykyhome.org. This ad was sponsored by Kentucky Housing Corporation and this station.
Smith Overhead Door isn't just about opening and closing. We're about safety, security, and style for your home or business. As a Future Designs company, we're lifting expectations across Grayson and surrounding counties with top brands like CHI and Chamberlain.
Hey there, I'm Kevin Brooks with Smith Overhead Door. Whether it's a sturdy lift master for your garage or a sleek clopay door for your shop, we install and service with a commitment to reliability. Smith Overhead Door, we're opening up possibilities.
Secure your entrance at sohd.info.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. Innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
So North Bullitt High School, Grayson County, and the Eagles of North Bullitt. National Anthem kind of snuck up on me a little bit. So that's why our last break was abridged.
Right.
To say the least, Ken. So because
abridged,
of that,
good word.
We didn't have time for Ken's keys to the game for Grayson County and North Bullitt. Big district game. Ken, how do the Cougs pick up a win?
Well, I tell you, I think the first thing they need to do is establish the run. That kind of echoes what Coach said during your interview with him. I think that's key. Second is, defensively, you obviously want to stop Bullitt East from North Bullitt from just piling up yards.
Yeah, you got to be careful calling them Bullitt
East
up here,
I'm liable to get myself in trouble. But I think that it's going to be key tonight for Grayson's to get to the edges, to cut their run off at the edges and not let them get down that sideline and pick up big gains. The third thing is to protect the football in passing situations. As you and I think Coach alluded to, they have 11 picks. North Bullitt has 11 picks on the year, 4 by Jackson Dussel, 3 by Kelly Avery. Very athletic, quick, well-coached secondary. So that's something that Colby Chapins and his receivers need to be on the same page.
You heard Coach Jones talk about it, too, in the open. He said that he expects North Bullitt, what they do is that they will be susceptible to passes over the top because they're going to drop those safeties in at times to go up and try and intercept the passes on the short routes. I'm going to be very interested when that play comes. And you know what, Ken? I'm going to say it here. You heard it here first. I like to make a bold prediction every now and then, and 95% of the time I'm wrong. But about once a year, I think I'm right.
Is this that night?
We're going to have a deep ball. He's going to take a shot on the first drive.
Awesome. I would love to see that. I would love to see that because what does that do?
Jet Hawkins.
What's that do? That loosens up that run defense a little bit because they know who Caden Hanshaw is. They're very aware of how dangerous of a runner Mr. Hanshaw has become. And so the more success that they can have either in the short or the long passing game is simply going to make Caden's job a little bit easier tonight.
Without question. They're doing the coin toss right now. North Bullitt has all of their seniors as captains, which I like. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And the rest of the team is taking the field right now. And they do have the lights here, too.
They dim the lights?
So they have it like at the college and professional stadiums where they'll flash the lights and so on. So it's pretty cool.
Well, it is a beautiful, I'll give credit to the Bullitt County school system because I think all the public schools in Bullitt County got new facilities. This is a beautiful, beautiful facility, beautiful field. Go ahead, Sam.
North Bullitt has won the toss. They've deferred. Grayson County will get the ball first. Sorry.
Excellent. Oh, I was just talking about
which
is
what Grayson County wants anyway.
That's what you want. Exactly.
So Cougars will get the football first to open up this game. There's a lot of energy in this building. Not a huge crowd for North Bullitt, but we do also have to say, thank them. They've been very hospitable. For one, Ken, I walked in and found out that about 50% of my compadres down here to the left are Bengals fans.
Awesome.
So I felt like I was home.
Exactly.
I felt like I was home. And
does the chili smell like your mom's chili, though? Because that's the first thing I noticed when I walked in the press box.
And they have chili for us in here.
Chili.
I did not get to partake in said chili. But for me, remember, Ken, to me, there's only one kind of chili, and it's Cincinnati-style chili.
There you go. So. Nothing wrong.
And I'm sure
it's hard to compare. It's hard to compare.
My mom does make chili.
Is it as good as what you get across the river?
Let's get ready.
Remember, she's listening.
Yes. Listen, I like my mom. My mom makes good chili. She does make chili. And I know she commented a little bit earlier, so I do have to be careful. But no, she also knows that I love my Skyline chili.
Well, who doesn't?
A lot of people don't love their Skyline chili. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm sure we're getting people yelling at the screen saying, shut up, let's talk about football. Let's get ready to roll. Grayson County and North Bullitt about ready to roll here today. Sam Gormley and Ken Hallett with you on the call. Grayson Chaffins and Jet Hawkins back deep to return this opening kick. As they're getting ready to roll here.
They also have a top-notch sound system.
It's brand new.
Yeah.
Everything is brand new here at North Bullitt. This is year 2, just like we were in year 1 last year at Bullitt Central. Cougars spoiled that party last year in Shepherdsville. We're now just up the road in what is technically Hebron Estates. The kick coming from North Bullitt. It's a left-footed kicker. Going from left to right on the radio dial. It is up into the air, and we are underway as it's a squib kick caught at the 30-yard line by Grayson County's Ethan Mudd. He bounces off of a tackler, gets up to the 40-yard line, carries it up to about the 43, and that's where Grayson County will get the football first 12 minutes left here in this opening quarter. Colby Chafin's the starting quarterback, but it has been the run game that Grayson County has relied on over these last couple of contests.
Well, I tell you, couldn't ask for better field position, Sam, to start this first initial drive off. Nice return. Who was that on the return, you said?
Ethan
Was
Mudd.
that Ethan? Yeah.
Gets
nice
it up to the
return,
44-yard line. First down and 10 for Grayson County. And Chaffins will go in the eye to open up. Ethan Mudd is the fullback. Caden Hanshaw, decked out in his pink, is the deep back. It's a pitch, fake play. They'll toss it back to Chaffins. They throw it up. Grayson Chaffins wide open, caught at the 25, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Cougs.
Credit to Sam Gormley on that call. First play, he predicted a long downfield toss, and sure enough, that's what they hit us with. And let me tell you, Mr. Chaffins Grayson was wide open. No one within, 10, 15 yards of him.
56-yard touchdown, 17 seconds into the game. The Cougs strike first. They lead 6-0.
Well, that'll take the steam out of you if you're wearing green tonight.
The trick play, couple of tosses in there. Brian Jones likes running trick plays on the opening play of the game. Evan Hasty on to attempt the extra points.
So happy.
He is perfect, 16 of 16 this year. Good snap, good kick. It is long enough, and it is no good. 6-0, Grayson leads, 11:43 left first quarter. It's Cougar football on K105.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
Protecting this beautiful world requires balancing our needs with the planet's well-being. The biodiversity of North America's wetlands is an indicator of our ecosystem's health. More diverse wetlands with hundreds of species mean richer soil, cleaner water, and abundant pollination, all vital to our basic needs and creature comforts. Join Ducks Unlimited to shape a sustainable future that benefits wildlife habitats and our communities. A public service from Ducks Unlimited.
The Cougs strike first. They lead North Bullitt 6-0 on the 54-yard touchdown catch and run from Chaffins to Chaffins. And an early left hook was landed, Ken.
We need to research, Sam. You're the king of research. 17 seconds off the clock. Is that the quickest that
here comes
Grayson
the kick
County's
from North Bullitt.
Ever scored?
Picked up on the bounce of the 15-yard line. Nice return by Rowan up the far sideline. Now he's breaking back towards the middle as he gets to the 40, up to the 45, near the 50-yard line. Huge return for Jaden Rowan for North Bullitt.
Do a better job of running to the ball carrier. Huge hole that time for the ball carrier. Ended up getting the ball to the 49, going to midfield on a beautiful return.
Caden Dorsey, the starting quarterback, 355 yards, 5 touchdowns, and interception. Evan Ernspiker, the leading rusher, just shy of 500 yards. You're going to see a lot of different names touch the ball, but Ernspiker is the wingback. Right now, actually, he's more of a tight end as they're going to go spread out wide. Dorsey all alone in the backfield. Shifting in motion is Kelly. They're going to give it to him on the jet sweep coming near side 50.
Edge.
Turns the edge and hits up to the 45-yard line. Down near the 42 goes Avery Kelly. He'll pick up 9 yards.
Quick.
It'll be second and 1.
He's asking out of the game. But quick little player, and that's something that Grayson County, we talked about before the game, is you got to get to that edge and cut off those 6, 7, 8 yard gains around the corners.
Avery Kelly only listed 5'7".
He's a little guy.
And he might not even be 5'7",
yeah,
Ken. That
limping.
might be a basketball height. And I hope
limping.
he is okay. He's not putting any weight on that left
he's
leg.
Pretty good.
Pistol formation. Ernspiker is the deep back. Dorsey is the starting quarterback. Not a tall player, but he is very solidly built. Ernspiker is a hoss as a running back. Low snap. It is an option pitch far side. It is caught and running. First down, North Bullitt. Penalty flags galore. Hit the field as it was a pitch to Micah Hoke. But this one looks like it's coming back. And Ken, when I was watching some film earlier, I believe they had the referees mic'd up. Let's see if it is true.
Really?
It looks like he's touching his waist. Huh. It's a holding on the offense. I wish I could get into their sound system or something and take that microphone audio.
Yeah,
it is holding called against North Bullitt. I think I've only ever seen that one other place. It's a 10-yard penalty to bring up 2nd down and 11.
On that RPO that we just saw, you know, Grayson County has to respect Caden Dorsey, the quarterback's ability to run. He averages about 9 rushes a game, so he's a guy that can get it done on the ground as well.
We have a whistle blown. Looks like we have some issues with the chains on the far side. I noticed on that last play that the first down side of the chains was not up in the air.
And
it's still laying on the ground.
Yeah, we're still missing that.
There he goes.
There it goes.
I guess it was tangled, and I think we're all set and ready to roll. 2nd and 11 coming up for North Bullitt. They'll have it on their own 48-yard line after the 10-yard holding penalty. 10:40 left, first quarter. Grayson leads 6-0 after the trick play touchdown. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Wishbone formation for North Bullitt. Kept by Dorsey. He goes around that left side. Pitch, far side. Spiker's got it first down up the far sideline, crossing the 40 and getting down to the 36. It was a perfect pitch by Dorsey, and it'll be a big pickup of over 15 yards.
Well, he's made 2 excellent decisions, Dorsey has so far. Again, Grayson has got to cut off the edge, or North Bullitt will run up and down the field on them all night.
1st down and 10 from the 36 for the Eagles. 2 to the left. 2 come down to the right side. They stick with a wishbone formation. Over 2 minutes into the game, North Bullitt trying to answer with a scoring drive of their own. Dorsey again keeps and pitches near side. And brought down in the backfield. Grayson Chaffins comes in from the safety position to bring down the carrier Jaden Burton for a loss of 2 yards.
Grayson Chapin spied that out pretty quick and made a beeline to the ball carrier. Outstanding job there that time by Mr. Chapins.
Back to the 38-yard line, 2nd and 12. 2 down to the near side, ball placed in the near hash. North Bullitt working from left to right on the radio dial. We're in all green jerseys. Handoff, it is again to Burton. He comes across, bounces off of tacklers. He bounced off of about 3 before Will Vincent, who celebrated his birthday yesterday, happy birthday to Will, brings him down for no gain.
And Vincent ends up getting that tackle because he did not give up on the play. The ball carrier kind of bounced off of one Grayson County defender, and Vincent right there, Johnny on the spot, takes him down.
3rd and 12 for North Bullitt. Placed on their own 38-yard line. They need to get it down to the Grayson County the Grayson County 26. 2 down to the near side, 1 to the left. Sticking with a wishbone formation is the senior quarterback Dorsey. Low snap, he gets it. Kept by Dorsey near side. He breaks one tackle, breaks his second, gets down to the 30. It's going to bring up 4th down and short. Grayson Chaffins in on the tackle for Grayson County. Pickup of 8 yards, though. 4th and 4 for the Eagles. And, Ken, you're in no man's land. You're absolutely going for this.
Exactly. And let me say, that was a really nice move by the quarterback, Caden Dorsey, to free himself up before he ran into Grayson Chaffins. That was a sweet move.
8 minutes left. First quarter. Grayson County leads 6-0. 4th down and 4 for North Bullitt. They need to get it down to the 26. They have it on the 30. In the wishbone. Cougars showing pressure. They bring pressure. It's a run up the middle. Dropped! No gain! Big play coming around the edge for Grayson County. Tristan Brooks brings it down for a tackle for a loss and a turnover on downs.
Well, that's their first attempt at going through the A or B gap there on the O-line, and Grayson answered that call in a big way.
Tristan Brooks makes the best play of his young career.
You have to wonder why they didn't try to get to the one of the edges on that, Sam. That's the first time they've run up the middle, and, man, Grayson snuffed that out.
Cougars will get it on their own 32-yard line. They will run one play, and it was a 56-yard touchdown pass. They'll go back to the I, 2 wide receivers to the right side, 1 to the near side. It's a give to Mudd. He goes up the middle and gets it to the 34-yard line, 2-yard gain on the first one for Ethan Mudd. Mudd, the power back, 41 carries, 215 yards now on the season.
Yeah, and what you hope is that long touchdown pass that Grayson County had on their first possession will loosen up that middle, loosen up those linebackers a little bit, and benefit the Cougars' run game.
Coach Jones talked about it in the open, that he expected to be able to pass deep against this North Bullitt team, and he showed it off. And it's kind of a deep pass, but also fooled on the trick play.
Yeah, it wasn't a 70-yard pass, but that was that probably in the air, 30 yards anyway.
Chafin's in the gun, Hanshaw to the left. Bunch formation. Another trick play. It's a sweep far side. Hawkins has it. Blockers in front. Hits the 40-yard line. Bounces it outside at the 50. 40, 35, 30. One man to beat. 20. And he stiff arms a tackler inside the 15-yard line. Big play for Jet Hawkins. First down, Cougs.
I think North Bullitt looking for Caden Hanshaw handoff that time with a little, I don't know how, sleight of hand. They give it to Jet Hawkins, and what a beautiful run. A couple of nice cutbacks to gain extra yards on that carry.
53 yards on the carry for Grayson County. It'll be first down and 10 for the Cougars. Really good blocking on the exterior as well by the wide receivers.
Yes, I agree.
6-0 Grayson, 6:20 left first quarter, but the Cougs are in the red zone again. This year in the red zone, they have struggled. 16 of 24 on scoring attempts. In the eye. Chaffins gives to Mudd. And he dives forward for a pickup of
a yard or two.
Yeah, maybe one if they're feeling generous. Down to the 12. Caden Hanshaw has touched the ball today, but is yet to gain any yardage. He's not been in on any of the plays. They know North Bullitt is going to key on him.
Right.
And they're using that to their advantage, which is excellent play
call. They did perfectly on the Jet Hawkins carry, because that defense thought Hanshaw was getting the ball.
Back in the eye, right on cue. Hanshaw has it. Right side run. Breaks a tackle. 10. 5 carrying tacklers inside the 5-yard line near the first down marker. It looks like he has enough to move the chains. First down, Grayson County.
Got turned around. He was running backwards there towards the end of that run, Sam, and just kept churning and churning. Almost put the ball in the end zone.
Down to the 12, the 2-yard line, rather. 10-yard gain.
I think this North Bullitt crowd is a little bit stunned, Sam.
First and goal from the 2, power I for Grayson County. Hanshaw again, left side run, dives. It's near the goal line, and he's just short. Gain of about 1.5 down to the 1. And this is going to be one of these scenarios here where Grayson County is going to give the ball to Caden Hanshaw 3 more times, and if North Bullitt stops him, you tip your cap and you say,
congratulations to North Bullitt.
You stop the defending district player of the year. Cougars have been, pretty darn good on offense to open up. I don't know that Brian Jones could ask for much more.
I agree.
Extra blocker in the backfield is Cornwell for Grayson. Hanshaw one more time. He tries the spin, and he's stopped again. Right at the goal line. It'll be third down and goal now for Grayson County. 4:10 left. First quarter. Grayson leads 6-0. Trying to add more to their lead. And I'm sure you're going to see the same exact thing. Chafin's under center. He's got to keep it himself. Push, end zone.
There it is.
Waiting for a signal. Touchdown, Cougars. Colby Chaffins takes it himself. 1 yard out. And the Cougs now lead 12-0.
Cannot start a football game any better offensively than Grayson County, has tonight, to I guess, state the obvious.
3:49 left first quarter. Grayson County again going with the gate formation. And Hasty missed his first extra point of the season. He was one of only a couple of kickers in the state that had not missed a PAT, but had at least 16 made. Until earlier on today, he puts that one up, and it hits off the goalpost, and they're going to say no good.
Oh, that's a bad.
Hits off the top of the
that's
goalpost.
Bad. But it went inside. It didn't go back around the goalpost.
I'm not sure if our camera caught that from the backside or not.
I don't see any argument from anybody. So
I don't know.
Maybe I
the
saw
officials
it
were
wrong.
right there on top of it.
I thought it hit and went inside.
12-0 Grayson leads. 3:49 left first quarter, and Ken, that's been a really good start for this Grayson County team.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything better, anything more if you're Coach Jones, that's for sure. No penalties. couple of really strong runs. I think Grayson has done an excellent job, obviously, of establishing the run, which is the number one thing they wanted to do here early in the first quarter.
And they've also used a couple of trick plays as well to help themselves out. So it's 12-0 Grayson, 3:49 left first quarter. I'll try to see if I can't find a quick score or two from around the region as we look in and try to bring you a more Seneca score. That's a big one that we'll try to find. John Harden leads Thomas Nelson 7-0 early on in that game, and that appears to be most of the scores very quickly that I have for you. Of course, we're starting 30 minutes earlier than we would on a typical day being in the Central Time Zone. Hasty, again, goes kind of an awkward squib kick right down the middle, caught on the high bounce up the far side of the 20-yard line and dropped after a short pickup over on that far side of the field. Nice tackle made. Avery Kelly was in there. Good to see him back into the game after leaving a little limp earlier on.
Yeah, he seems fine. The little what's he listed? You said 5'7", 5'8", something like that. He's a little guy, but it's good to see him back on the field. I don't know if people out there.
North Bullitt has it on their own 27, and their first drive, really, you saw some good things
from
them.
Well, they moved the football. They had some success moving the football. They just couldn't finish.
And a couple of nice plays made by the Grayson County defensive line on that. North Bullitt wants to run the football. They can pass, but they are much more comfortable pounding, similar to Grayson County in that realm.
Right.
Ernst Spiker up the middle, hits the 30-yard line before being spun down up at the 31. He'll pick up 4 yards on the play.
Linebackers for Grayson, Johnny on the spot that time. He made it through. The ball carrier made it through that initial line of defense, but linebackers are there to snuff out that run, giving up, according to about 4-yard gain there.
Grayson County's running right now sort of like a 3-5. And now they're bringing Hanshaw down as an extra edge rusher. Kept Dorsey up the middle, dropped.
They're going to call that?
No gain on the play. I think coming around the edge, I believe it was Hanshaw, made contact with the face mask
Hard
of
to tell
Dorsey.
Whether he grabbed it, though.
But I think it was he more like slapped him across the face. And you can do that. He didn't. I don't know ever grabbed.
He didn't grab or turn his head or anything like that. So that would have been tough to spot anyway for an official.
No gain. 2:45 left first quarter, 12-0. Grayson leads. Be interesting to see here on 3rd and 6 what North Bullitt will do. In the pistol, Ernst Spiker the deep back. 2 to the left, 1 to the near side. Man in motion is Kelly. They fake the give to him. Dorsey scrambles down near side, looking to pass. He's hit. He throws. Nearly intercepted by Grayson County. Lear went chasing after. He threw it away. Colby Chapin.
Colby was pressuring him.
Was in contain, and North Bullitt is going to be forced to punt. And Ken, I don't know that you have a decision. I think you have to.
Yeah, with the way Grayson is moving the football offensively, you don't want to go for it, not make it, and give them a extraordinarily short field.
4th down and 6.
Just gives Grayson Chapin a chance to return one for a TD here.
Chafin stands back at his own 37-yard line. He originally was standing at his 45. Not a good snap. It bounces, and it's kicked straight up into the air. Takes a Grayson County bounce and now takes a North Bullitt bounce, and it rolls past the 45-yard line, down across the 40, and gets down to the 39 on the carry. And that's where Grayson is going to take over.
Yeah, still not bad field position there. 39-yard line. I thought Chapin was going to come up and catch that, but he thought better of it and probably made the wise decision.
I know I was told the Bengals have a long-time special teams coordinator, and he's been there for about 25 years. And his mentality, and I'm sure Brian Jones it would have similar mentalities. I'm sure every football coach does. He says the most important job of a punt returner is to hand the ball to the official after the play.
I tell you, I can't argue with that.
But and I mean, it's good advice because it's just saying, sure, the fun moves to try and break something is fun, but at the same time, your job is to get the football to the offense.
Right.
I formation, Hanshaw, give, right side. He tries to bounce it, and he does at the 40-yard line. Tries to get the edge. He does. 45. Breaks another tackle up to the 50. Still on his feet as he crosses the 45, down to the 41. Caden Hanshaw putting defenders on skates left and right.
I tell you, Grayson County football fans need to really enjoy what you're seeing. And Caden Hanshaw just gets better and better. He adds new moves. He's so athletic and big and strong. Such a great combination back, and he is just a joy to watch. That was a beautiful run.
17-yard gain for Hanshaw.
And he's getting stronger and stronger. It's taking more than one guy to bring him down.
You know who's not enjoying him, though? This district. Grayson County switching districts after this year, and I don't think North Bullitt, Bullitt Central, Moore, and Seneca are going to miss Caden Hanshaw whatsoever. There's a miscommunication in the backfield. We're going to have penalty flags coming in. As it's a handoff, Colby Chaffins was clearly not on the same page as his backs in the backfield. He was spinning in the backfield looking for somebody to hand it off to, and there was nobody there.
No one there.
Holding is called against Winston Woosley on the play for Grayson County.
So that play was a total bust. We have a busted play, then a penalty, so that's not good. But this is really, we're 121 left to go in the first quarter. That's the first mistake this team's made tonight.
It'll move it back to the 46-yard line. 1st and 20 now for the Cougars. They lead 12-0. Somebody obviously was shaken up before on that last play for Grayson and is doing some sprints on the far side. That's Jet Hawkins. Appears he's okay. I saw trainer Scott Ballman watching him as he was doing the sprints. Offset I formation for Grayson. Pitch high side to Hanshaw. Turns up to the 45, 50, and he's tripped up low as he gets down to the 45-yard line. Really nice tackle made on the far side by North Bullitt.
But
as it's
Sam,
Dussel in on the tackle.
Did you see the hole? I mean, you could drove a Mack truck through that hole. Outstanding job by the O-line creating space for Hanshaw to do his thing.
8-yard gain for Hanshaw.
So now you're 2nd and 12. You're in good shape. 38 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. And by the way, shout out to a pretty decent crowd for Grayson County across the way.
2nd down and long for Grayson County. They do have to snap it one more time. In fact, they have to hurry. As there's on the play clock, there
4 seconds.
And the play clock on that side, and looks like Grayson is just going to take a timeout with 16 seconds.
Yeah,
Coach Jones play clock on this left side, when it gets down to single digits, the numbers. Oh, you know what? I think I know what I'm doing, Ken. I'm looking through 2 windows.
Right.
So I'm seeing the reflection of it, and I'm thinking, I'm like, are those numbers backwards? And yes, they are backwards because I'm seeing the reflection of it. Because I'm like, why are they backwards? Okay. Ken, it's been a long week. It's been a long week.
No comment.
Grayson County leads 12-0. Let's see if we can't find a score or two as we look around the region here. As John Harden taking on Thomas Nelson. It's Thomas Nelson 14-0. John Harden, rather, leads that late in the first quarter of that contest. Cal leads LaRue County halfway through the first quarter, 14-0. And we'll do the scroll through. That appears to be much of what we see right now. A bunch of games happening very shortly as well. We will try to bring you updates from Seneca Moore as well. That's a big game going on just north of us. And some good things can happen if Moore wins that game for Grayson County. Out of the timeout, 2nd and long for Grayson. Jet Hawkins shifts in motion. It's kept up the middle by Chaffins. He gets down to what is the original line of scrimmage, down to the 44-yard line. That will be the final play of the first quarter. Grayson County has a lead against North Bullitt. 12-0. This is Cougar football on K105.
I'm Naheem Hines, proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom has muscular dystrophy, and the MDA helps her and kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan, and I'm 12 years old. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. And MDA funds over 150 care centers for kids like me.
For over 70 years, MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Learn more at mda.org today.
here to Grayson County to North Bullitt High School, where Grayson County leads 12-0. They'll have it 3rd down and 10 to start the second quarter of play here today.
I think this is our first 3rd and long tonight, Sam. They have only had a couple of 3rd downs all night, but I think this is their longest, definitely their longest.
I think they've only
down.
had 1 3rd down, and it was 3rd down and goal from the 1.
You got to see 10 yards if they uncork pass here.
3rd and 11 for Grayson officially. From the North Bullitt 45-yard line, they need to get it down to the 34. In the gun goes Chaffins. He's going to spread it out 5 wide. They're setting up a screen, and it's incomplete, and Chaffins paid the price. Spiker blows him up after the play. That's one of those, Ken, that it was probably a 1 and a hit, but probably a little surprised they didn't call that. Quarterbacks, we're having a legal motion.
You're seeing that a lot in college and the NFL in plays where you're like, how can the guy slow down or stop? I was watching further up the field, Sam, didn't see the hit. So.
Legal formation called against Grayson County.
We were playing
That's gonna bring up 4th
football.
down and 11 coming up here. And Grayson's probably going to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah.
At least I think I would. And they will.
Playing clean football for almost the entire first quarter. Now we've got to have 2 penalties here that have hurt the Cougars on this drive. Here they go.
4th and 11. Trips down to the near side. Hanshaw is the blocker and the running back to the right of Colby Chaffins. Chaffins rolls out near side to the short side of the field, turns back, and it's thrown complete to Hanshaw, and he pays the price immediately. It is a caught pass, doesn't matter anyways. It's a turnover on downs.
Let's call this young man's name because that was a nice play. He was not pulled. That's Jaden Burton, one of their top defensive players.
Was not
he
fooled
was
whatsoever.
not pulled. Was not pulled. If he had not been there, though, Sam, that'd have been 6. That would have been 6.
North Bullitt will have it on their own 45-yard line after the turnover on downs. Grayson leads 12-0, 12 seconds into the second quarter.
I love the play call, by the way. It didn't work, but I love that play call.
Trips down to the near side, 1 to the right. In the pistol goes Dorsey. Spiker now will spread out wide down to the near side, throwing. It is a run play. Spiker will catch it, turns up to the near side, gets to the 50, and down to about the 47. That will go down as a run, as it was behind the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
Yeah, right. And plus, I think the ball catcher or the receiver was behind the quarterback as well.
It's a gain of 9 down to the 46.
But 2 Cougars were beat here on the edge on that play. Nice run by Spiker. Nice run by Spiker. I thought he should have been taken down quicker than he was, though.
Sticking with the pistol formation. In the backfield. Spiker behind Dorsey. Option.
Big
Dorsey
hole.
up the middle, goes to the 40. He cuts back towards the near side. I don't know why he cut back near side. If he'd have cut back far side, he'd had even more space. It doesn't matter. It's a first down to the 38.
Definitely caught a break there on his decision. I don't know what he may not have seen from our view, what we were seeing from up here, but there was a huge initial hole that he went through.
9-yard pickup. First down and 10 for the Eagles. Grayson leads 12-0. They scored on the first play of the game, a trick play, and then had another trick play that turned into a big gain for Jet Hawkins on a run. 1 to the right, 2 to the near side. Kelly shifts in motion. He will get it on the jet sweep from near side to the far side.
Look at him turn on the jet.
He hits to the 35 and gets down to about the 33. Gain of 5 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, that's a weapon that you want to get into space. He has some serious jets.
North Bullitt coached by Jason Schum. This is only his 4th game as the head coach of North Bullitt. Their previous head coach, Alex Carbello, resigned 1 day prior to their game at East Jessamine. And in that game that North Bullitt lost, they were also without Caden Dorsey, their starting quarterback.
That's almost a game that you don't even analyze or look at that
exactly.
much.
So you could, in a lot of ways, say they're 4-1.
Well, Schum is to be congratulated.
Run up the middle, Spiker.
He
bounces
didn't go
off
down.
the tacklers left and right, carries it down to the 30. That'll move the chains. First down to the 27, 6-yard pickup.
Poor tackling that time by Grayson County. That should have been stopped after a 1-yard gain. But you have to give a hat tip to Coach Schum. His team looks, pretty good to me. He's put together a pretty good record since he took over, not counting that first loss. And so that's got to be a very tough situation to deal with.
1st and 10 in the pistol.
And once again,
one on each side. Kelly shifts now, decides not to. They're just going to give it to Ernspiker, runs up the middle, gets down to the 22 as Jimmy Lear in on the tackle for Grayson County along with Matthew McAllister. Pickup of about 4 yards.
Lear's had some really good stops, some really nice defensive plays for the Cougars this year.
5 yards officially. 2nd and 5. 8:40 left. First half. 12-0 Cougs on top. Sticking with the pistol. You saw a lot of wishbone on the last drive. They're going primarily with a pistol on this drive. Ernspiker again, right side run. He breaks another tackler. Gets down near the first down marker. Looks like he's got enough as it's down to the 16. We haven't seen an official signal. Mudd in on the tackle for the orange and blue, and, well, maybe he didn't get it. At first glance, Ken, I thought he did. There it is. There comes the signal.
I thought he had a first down on that run.
I thought I saw the far side judge say first down. He did. No?
They haven't changed the scoreboard yet. It still says third down.
We're going to have to talk it over. And looks like we're going to measure.
Yes, we are.
Ken, this is one thing, too, and especially in the NFL. Why have we not, and I know they tested it in the preseason.
Right.
Or even,
I agree.
or even, can we not just get a laser pointer? And
you could measure it. You can measure it in 3 seconds. Just immediately.
Just shoot a laser pointer across the field. If the laser is on the football, it's a first down.
And they still haven't run out of chain.
Here they come.
Here they come. Once again, North Bullitt, as they did in an earlier drive, gaining positive yards using the run game extremely well and moving the football. But it's just we're going to see, is Grayson County's defense
first down North Bullitt
going to bend and not break?
And it was first down. They almost had to get the index card out, Ken.
Right.
8:13 left, first half. Grayson leads 12-0, but North Bullitt is entering the red zone for the first time today.
I'll be interested to see if Coach Jones stays in this defensive front where he's really he's got 4 guys on the line of scrimmage, and then 4 linebackers. If he keeps that up, because right now North Bullitt's taking advantage, I feel, of that defensive front.
Ernspiker run right side and tackled low. Big play. We have a penalty flag thrown away from the play as Jet Hawkins and one of the receivers were tangled up on the far side. Both hit the deck. I'm not sure it was away from the play ahead of it. It might be a hold on North Bullitt. I'm not entirely sure what this might be.
Here comes the official.
It looks like it's on North Bullitt. They're moving the wrong way.
7:52 left to go here in the first half. You called it.
It is holding called against Hoke on the outside. It should move it back to the 26.
That was excellent ball pursuit that time by Jet Hawkins. He spied that, I think, early.
It was Mudd who made the tackle.
It was
Hawkins
Mudd.
who was held. They're going to have to talk it over. I don't know if this is a spot foul or not. We're going to have to discuss this and see what it is. Appreciate you taking the time to tune into tonight's broadcast today. Make sure if you're watching on the K105 YouTube channel, you hit that red subscribe button. That way you'll get notified for all of the games. Cougars off next week, but they'll be back in 2 weeks. Just up 65 from where we are right now as they will take on the Seneca Redhawks. 1st and 20 for North Bullitt from the 26.
Now, this is where you stop them. This is where you end the drive right here, 1st and 20.
Ernspike, no, it's kept by Dorsey on the far side of the field. He runs, and he's tackled from behind.
Pursuit.
Ethan Mudd.
Again, Ethan Mudd.
In on the tackle, carrying it down to the 24-yard line. 2-yard gain, 2nd and 18.
Grayson, that's probably the best job they've done of pursuing the edge and cutting that edge off. That's probably the best job they've done tonight.
Gain of 2 yards on the play, 2nd down 18 from the 24-yard line.
Dorsey walking towards his head coach. I'm not sure if that's just his gait, but looks a little lame walking. As far as in lame, I'm meaning like he's
got a little limp.
Exactly. 7 minutes left, first quarter, first half.
His gait is not pure.
Correct. And that might just be that he got tackled a little weird in the last play and just kind of needed to move it. Option run. He looks fine on this one as he carries it down to the 20-yard line. And the ball comes out. Grayson County has it. Looks like Matthew McAllister comes up with a football, waiting for the official signal. And it is Grayson County football. Matthew McAllister comes away with the ball.
Well, and we just talked about it. It's time to end this drive. Excellent job by Grayson forcing that ball loose. McAllister in the right place at the right time with a nice little return in a big crowd. Huge play momentum-wise, I think, for the Cougars.
6:42 left, second quarter. Grayson has it on their own 22-yard line.
And that's why, it's a play like that. That's why Grayson has really only 4 guys on the defensive line, because
a sideline warning has been called against North Bullitt. I guess they
didn't like that fumble, Sam.
They assumed that the runner was down, and there was no way for us to tell. I couldn't tell. Because you know me, if I think it was the wrong call,
I didn't. I saw the
tell.
ball when it came out, but I didn't see the position of the runner. I blocked from that.
Extra blocker on the right side of the line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Grayson on their own 25. Cornwell shifts to the right side to the left side of the line. He was that extra blocker. Chaffins on the give. Nope, kept up the middle. Carries it to the 25-yard line. Bounce it near side 30. Spin move at the 30-yard line and runs out of bounds and is shoved down out of bounds, and that should be a penalty.
That's a penalty. That's a
There
personal
comes the
foul.
penalty.
Yeah.
It's thrown from the back judge.
He was a good step out of bounds when he was hit, and I don't think the defender, that was anything
I don't know how the line
malicious,
judge,
but he did hit him out of bounds. There's no question.
I don't know how the side judge wasn't the one who threw it, who was standing within 2 feet of the play.
But let's not take away, forget that beautiful run. He spun out of trouble.
Wow. They call an illegal block in the back against Grayson County.
Are you kidding me?
That's a terrible no call.
Well, maybe Grayson did block in the back, but
it should have been offsetting.
Should have been offsetting penalties. They missed that. He was
they did.
Clearly out of bounds.
He was a step out of bounds, and that's the quarterback. We saw that.
And that is so dangerous.
2 weeks ago against Moore, where 2 plays happened like that. They didn't call it on the first one. They did call it in the second. And the biggest thing with that, Ken, is plays like that open up to retaliation. And that's where, either side, it's tough to be necessarily mad. So it's 1st and 7 for Grayson. Ball comes out. Chaffins gets it.
Oh, Lord.
Though, as it bounces off of the turf.
Came back to him, caught a break there, Big Sam. Caught a break, buddy. Where we're at, inside, right on the corner of the red zone, right on the 20-yard line to lose it that close to the.
It'll be at the 22.
Wow.
2nd and 10 for Grayson County. Weird drive. 6 minutes left, second quarter. Cougs lead 12-0. Against the Eagles of North Bullitt. They played really well in their first 2 drives. Couple of trick plays. Or gains of over 50. One a run by Jet Hawkins and one a touchdown pass from Colby Chaffins to Grayson Chaffins. That has helped pace the Cougars early on to get them to their 12-0 advantage. 2 on each side. Colby Chaffins rolls out far side. Eyes up. Hit as he throws. Throwing. Looking for Shane Hall. Goes up and grabs it. At the 50-yard line. Carrying it down. Correction. That's Grayson Chaffins. Carrying it to the 47-yard line.
Listen, that was outstanding coverage by North Bullitt. As a matter of fact, I was about to say no one open. But Colby just threw the ball to space. Grayson Chaffins went after it. His cousin went after it. Beautiful catch.
31 yards.
Beautiful play.
31 yards on the gain.
Well thrown ball as well.
For Colby Chaffins to Grayson Chaffins, who is now already inching closer towards 100 yards in this game. Receiving. 5 minutes left, first half, 12-0. Grayson County has the lead. Mudd on the give up the middle. Carries it down to the 45. Did I see a penalty flag come in?
I don't know, but that whistle is a little early.
I thought I saw a penalty flag thrown in, and I guess I did not. This is a
the
carry
ball,
down to the 45, 2-yard gain.
Ball carrier still moving. He was moving laterally, but he was still moving. That's a little early whistle because he kind of broke away there at the end of that. Now, he may have broke away because the whistle blew and the defender gave up on the play. But
2nd and an 8, 45-yard line of North Bullitt.
4:18 left to go here in the half.
Grayson County has an opportunity to add to their lead. Extra blockers in the backfield. Brian Jones is going to have to take a timeout. Yep. We will take it with him. 4:05 left in the first half. Cougs lead 12-0. This is Cougar football on K105.
When you're on a boat, it's a joyful exploration of life.
And I don't know one person that hasn't dipped below the water and had a life-changing experience.
The best thing about boating is getting out on the open water.
It's not a country club. It's for everybody.
Miles, you're late. Again.
You are not living
Where have you
up to
been?
your full potential.
No sense of responsibility.
Everyone's going through something, even superheroes.
Is that the best you can do? This mediocre work is
You're not reaching your full potential. Unacceptable, Miles.
Let's take the stigma out of asking for help.
Hey, Dad. You got a minute?
Yeah, what's up, son?
If you need support, visit kevinlovefund.org to learn more.
I just got so much on my mind, you know?
Here we go.
4 minutes left here in the first half. It's 12-0. Grayson leads off at 2nd down and 18 from the 45-yard line. Cornwell shifts to the right side to the left side of the line. Cougars working from left to right. Handoff, Hanshaw.
Delay.
He turns and he's dropped in the backfield for a loss and speared after the play as well by North Bullitt. They had him wrapped up.
Yeah,
play took a long time to develop.
I think that was a little delay play that wasn't fooling North Bullitt. Grayson runs that pretty well. Hanshaw is so good. One of the things he does so well for such a young football player is he's patient. He's patient. He waits for the holes to open instead of trying to force his way through. And but that particular play, North Bullitt snipped that out pretty quick.
3rd and 12 for Grayson County. Probable 4-down territory for the Cougars.
Out North Bullitt.
Coming down near side, shifting in motion is Jet Hawkins. Colby Chaffins looks,
got
throws off into the flat. It's complete to Grayson Chaffins. He catches it at the 40-yard line.
Look at him
carrying blockers down to the 37.
Hey.
Near side judge does not look like he's going to give him enough for the first down, and Colby Chaffins is slow to get up after the play. Not a great spot. Happened right in front of us. I thought he got it down closer to the 37. Roughing the passer is called this time against North Bullitt, so the spot is not going to matter.
Doesn't matter.
I thought they should have called it earlier, and then I thought they should have called another hit on Colby. They do call it this time.
Well, I tell you, to get that many yards, regardless of the penalty, of a sit-down route, basically, just as a testament to Grayson Chaffins' fight, the fight in him, because you know when you just go run to the flat, turn around, ball comes to you, generally that's the end of the story.
Grayson Chaffins over
another 5 yards.
He's over 100 yards receiving now in the game.
He knew that. That's why he.
First and 10 from the North Bullitt 23-yard line. Chaffins does remain in the game at quarterback though. Mudd the fullback, Hanshaw the deep back. Give Hanshaw up the middle, hits the 20 to the 15, breaks a tackle, runs over another man. 10-5, touchdown Grayson County. Caden Hanshaw runs over man left and right to find the end zone.
Just, we're watching him grow up and become such a great football player right before our eyes, folks. But I tell you, you have to give a lot of credit to the edge blocking that time, which freed him up. He did the rest of it on his own after he got past the line of scrimmage, but outstanding blocking on the edges that time for the Cougars.
The NFL Network every week gives away what they call their angry runs. I think we might have a submission for that. Caden Hanshaw was angry on that run. Cougs look like they're going to go for 2 here. Only 2 of 2. They've only gone for 2 twice this year. Both were converted by Grayson Chaffins. This is the first time Colby Chaffins has been in the gun on a 2-point attempt this year. He has Hanshaw to his left. Chaffins rolls out, plays blown dead, and it's offside called against North Bullitt. And that's
half the distance to the goal.
Will make everyone's favorite 1-yard offside penalty. And see, that's where on 2-point plays, a lot of ways you don't have anything to lose on trying to get that extra jump because a 1-yard penalty, especially now, they're moving it from the 1 to the half to the quarter. Like at some point, why not try and jump the snap?
Exactly. And just hope you're not caught. Hope you don't get caught.
18-0, Grayson leads, 2:44 left first half.
North Bullitt coach is really giving the official an earful. He's quit, but he was there for a minute.
Chaffins kept up the middle. He's in. Untouched. 2-point conversion, good. It is 20-0. Grayson County has the advantage against North Bullitt. What a great start for this Grayson County team.
I have to say, 2:44 left to go here in the first half. Cougars up 20-0. I'm quite frankly surprised. I'm really surprised that they are handling the Grayson so far is handling the Eagles as they are. But they have just looked, other than some penalties here and there, the Cougars' offense has looked awesome, as well as the defense. We got a fumble recovery, so we forced a turnover. Taking good care of the ball. The Cougars have taken good care of the ball. Just a really great effort here tonight so far.
With a win today and a Seneca loss against Moore, Grayson County would clinch a home playoff game for the second straight year. Which is the second time that has happened in program history. The last time was about 10 years ago when they played North Bullitt in both of those home games.
Isn't that crazy? That's just
the math is mathing, as they would say, right?
It's funny.
Here comes the kick for Evan Hasty. 2:44 left, first half, 20-0. Hasty, a short kick over the far side. It's caught back up on that far side at the 16-yard line to the 20. Kelly tried to stutter, and he stuttered right into the tackle. Nice play made.
Now, if you're the Cougars, you do not want to give up a late score and give this team hope going into halftime.
Even more so because they get the ball to start the second half. You can do the good old 2-for-1, which is why I personally like deferring.
There was a discussion the other night about deferring. Some college football podcast I was watching.
So Cougars will have it, or rather the Eagles will have it on their own 23-yard line. The same yard line where Caden Hanshaw just ran one in from 23 yards of his own. So Hanshaw's a 23-yard touchdown run, 1-yard run by Colby Chaffins, and we're going to have a timeout here. And then you have the 56-yard touchdown pass from Chaffins to Chaffins as well. So again, Hanshaw just had the 23-yard touchdown run on the play. Let's see if we can't find a score or two from around the region here, Ken. Saw some more coming through as some games are getting underway back home. Let's see what we can't find as we do through here. Looks like the Blue Tornado, which has to be Paducah-Tillman, lead 14-0 against Logan County. Edmondson County leads Fort Campbell 7-0. If Edmondson County wins that, they'll put themselves in a spot to host a home playoff game. Louisville Male leads Douglas halfway through the second quarter, 21-0. Owensboro Catholic on top of Todd County Central, 14-6. That's only 3 minutes into that game, and it is 14-6.
Is that right? Wow.
Cal all over LaRue County, 35-0. Russellville leads Ballard Memorial, 14-8. Graves leads Apollo, 6-0. Those are a couple of the scores from around the region. I have yet to see one from Seneca Moore. Again, we'll effort one throughout the evening. 1st and 10. Out of the timeouts, North Bullitt has it on their own 23-yard line, 2:31 left. Ernspiker run, and he's hit low. Great play made low on it by Grayson County. I think it was Tegan Piggott. 42. It was Camden Cornwell, rather.
Yeah. Outstanding play by Mr. Cornwell, because that's called blowing it up, because that's what he did. He blew that up.
I saw the 4, and I know Camden and Tegan are similar sizes, and I wasn't sure which one to play. I know Camden will see me next week, and he will complain to me that I called him the wrong name right off the bat. But I've also called him Kenton multiple times this year. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Another run. Nope, ball fake. Dorsey throws up the seam for Kelly. Incomplete. Matthew McAllister.
Thought he caught it, Sam.
McAllister almost would have had a pick on that.
Well defended. That was a well-thrown ball. The young receiver just had to he really skied up to get that. Just couldn't come down with it.
Grayson leads 20-0, 142 left first half.
What's that kid's name?
Third down and 8.
Kelly Avery is number
Avery
2.
Kelly.
Avery Kelly. That's the number 2. Number 2 for them. He has some serious speed.
Third and 8, and North Bullitt's having more issues. And they might have to take another timeout here, Ken.
Well, we were.
What's on the play clock? I guess there's a little bit more time on the play clock.
Yeah.
I got to keep looking out through this window because I keep seeing the numbers in reverse, and it's throwing me off. Option. Now they will run, or it's an RPO throwing up the seam, and it is incomplete, looking for Dussel.
Yeah, I didn't think.
And it hits the turf.
Didn't think he caught that.
And now it's 4th and 8. North Bullitt's going to have to punt. And the Cougars now with 1:35
Listen,
and
there's time.
2 timeouts, I believe. They got plenty of time here.
Maybe get a shank punt, a decent return, and set the Cougars up to score inside this last 1:35. You're talking about putting, now, you can't win the game in the first half, but
you could sure help.
Yeah, but being up 4 touchdowns would be nice.
And whistle blown, and
that's going to scoot them
back
back 5 more yards.
Pushing them back. I think it is 12 men on the field for North Bullitt.
Oh, for North.
He's counting them right now.
Yep, it is. If my math is correct.
Oh, North Bullitt did get the timeout before the flag.
Okay.
Look at you being able to count to 12. I thought you could only count to 10.
Well, I did it real well. I usually can only count to 8.
Oh, see, I thought you had 10 because you had 10 fingers.
But I took I was tutored today on math before I showed up.
Oh, did your daughter Carly help you out with that?
Carly, my freshman daughter helped me out, yes.
Grayson County leads the game here 20-0. Stay tuned in at halftime today. There is a really cool Cougar conversation happening. I got to take the week off.
All your Cougar conversations are awesome.
And they are. Go onto our YouTube channel and watch it. But I got to take the week off. And Mark sits down and talks with the pride of Dog Creek in Caneyville.
Pride of Dog Creek.
In Caneyville. Do you know where we're talking
I know where
with
Dog
this?
Creek is.
Who are we?
I don't know who you're talking about, though.
What about we're going to head to Houston? George Lindsay.
Lindsay, there you go.
It's a really good
multiple award-winning George Lindsay.
It's a fantastic interview, and he talks about a piece of advice that Mr. McGee gave him, almost blocked on the punt. Because that it's not a great one, and it's going to come all the way down to the near side and just get an extra North Bullitt roll and roll near the 50-yard line. But there is a really good piece of advice or mentality that George talks about that E.E. McGee gave him. And Mr. Spirit, give you a huge shout-out. I know you're watching tonight. We love you, and we can't wait to see you on the sideline very soon. But you are going to have to make sure that you watch this because you told George something back in 1974 that he still remembers to this day.
Well, to remember something you were told that many years ago, it must have been important and life-changing. But George, just wow. What a great career he has had and continues to have broadcasting down in Houston.
He just celebrated his 50th year in radio last week.
He doesn't look like he's old enough to be in radio.
Here comes another trick play. It's Jet Hawkins. He tries to break a tackle in the backfield, and he's not going to be able to. It's a huge loss on the play back to the 40-yard line. Nice play coming around the edge. Yes. Garrett Coy had him by his undershirt.
And did not let go.
Loss of 11 yards, and let's see what Grayson does now. Clock is rolling, 1:06 left first half. 20-0 they lead, and I think what you're going to see here,
Ken, keep the ball on the ground. You don't want to throw it up in the air. I think you keep it on the ground. Maybe you can bust one loose.
I think you're going to see a screen here. I think you're going to see Hanshaw on a screen, or you run that little tunnel screen with Grayson Chaffins. Right. If he picks up 10, you run another play. If not, you're happy and you're fine with a 20-0 lead at the half.
Well, we've got 4 out.
2 on each side. Chaffins will pass. Setting up a screen. Far side. It's caught at the 40-yard line. 35, 40, 50-yard line.
Out of bounds.
Before stepping out of bounds, which acts as a timeout. Ethan Mudd on the catch and run.
Down to 31 seconds, though, left to go in the half, Sam.
Down to the 48-yard line. It is a gain of 12.
It's kind of a long handoff. There was no one out there on him either, Sam. I might try that again.
Another thing to keep in mind,
Run
Grayson
that till
County.
they stop it.
Grayson County does have a good kicker in Evan Hasty. He's missed 2 extra points today.
He's pushed them both, too. He's pushed them both tonight.
34 seconds is what they're going to put the game clock back on. 3rd and 9 for Grayson. This is where you do have to be careful, because if you don't get this, I mean, you'd be punting probably. Triangle of receivers down to the near side. Colby Chaffins all day to throw. Steps up in the pocket, floats it. Incomplete.
Just a
looking
little
over the
bit
middle.
in front of him.
Diving attempt for Jet Hawkins. He couldn't slide down to grab it. 4th and 9.
Good effort, though.
Holding is called against Grayson County.
Oh, well, so it wouldn't have mattered.
And honestly, if I'm North Bullitt, I think I decline this. 4th and 9 or 3rd and 19, and they are going to decline it. And that's the right decision. And now you're forcing Grayson County to punt.
A little surprised that he threw the ball down the field that time, though. But, hey.
With 30 seconds left.
Jones makes that's why he's the head coach and I'm not. Because
I would have, because you have 30 seconds left and 1 or 2 timeouts.
Well, this team is so adept at picking off passes that I just, in this situation, I don't know that I would risk it. But, hey, that's me.
North Bullitt, I don't think they have a full number of players on the field. At least 11. That's what a fan. It is 11. One's hiding over there.
Far side over there.
Here comes the punt from Colby Chaffins. It's a good one. Kelly is going to watch it over on the far side. Takes a high bounce to the 15 and before being down by Grayson Chaffins at the 14-yard line. That is a 34-yard coffin corner punt for Colby Chaffins. And now North Bullitt with 21 seconds left. I think you got to take a knee.
Couldn't have drove that up any better, and I was just thinking the same thing, Sam. I think I'd take a knee, go in, and regroup at halftime.
22 seconds remain. Maybe you do a run play, and if you break one.
Maybe break one. Maybe get number 2.
Avery
Kelly into space, possibly.
But I'd also, you have the ball back at your own 14. The last thing you need is a fumble.
A turnover, exactly.
Where it's almost just smart just to say, hey, let's head in. They're missing their lineman, Landon Cloud. He's having to go join his friends. They're having to snap this as there's 5 on the play clock. And they are not in a kneeling formation. And they do get it away. They're going to pass. Dorsey rolls out near side. He throws. He has a receiver caught by Kelly.
Nicely.
Up at the 28-yard line.
Nicely executed cross route. Gets out of bounds. Ball was on the button.
14-yard gain. 15 seconds left. North Bullitt has not attempted a field goal this year.
Kevin Wallace, their new coach.
They've had 2 players.
Who is St. X playing tonight? Do we know this?
That I do not know.
We don't care.
15 seconds left here. First half, 20-0. Grayson leads. North Bullitt will have the football on their own 29-yard line. Pistol. Faking the run. Floating it up. Looking for Dussel, rather. And it is.
That's picked.
Looks like it's intercepted.
That's picked.
Waiting for a signal.
I think it's, I don't know who it is.
They're blowing it. Intercepted by Shane Hall for Grayson County.
Beautiful play. He had radar on that pass. He had it spied the entire time.
Grayson County, that's another $50 donation too by Sheriff Norman Chaffins, up to now $250 on the season. Shane Hall's first career interception.
Outstanding. Just a beautifully defended pass. The ball was really right on the button. It was right on the nose. Just a great play by Shane Hall.
Cougars will go to take a kneel down and take us to the half. And there it is. Grayson leads at the half 20-0. It's Cougar football on K105.
How do you define success? Is it in the mastery of skills, in teamwork, in responsibility and self-discipline? Is it found through communication or through problem solving, innovation? Is it in the inches of small victories that lead down miles of self-discovery to a destination where potential and purpose meet? Prepared and confident, Grayson County Schools. Success is what you make it.
My name is Irene. My job is community school coordinator. My mom taught us that it doesn't matter how much money you have, you can always find a way to help. We started the pantry because the needs were so great. We're very fortunate to have the food bank just a few miles down. I just want our kids to experience what other kids experience and learn to say, what do I want to be when I grow up? And not worry about food.
Cougar football on K105.
Welcome back to North Bullitt. Grayson leads 20-0 at the half. Come back and have more in the halftime show after this. This is Cougar football on K105.
Respiratory viruses are making children sick across Kentucky. Children even get hospitalized at higher rates. But there's one easy way to protect our families. Get immunized. Pediatricians recommend staying up to date on all routine immunizations like flu, RSV, whooping cough, COVID-19, and measles. Most immunizations and boosters are even free. Call 855-598-2246 to find a provider near you. Sponsored by Kentucky Voices for Health and aired by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
Cougar football on K105.
Cougs lead at the half, 20-0 against North Bullitt. And Ken, the first two drives, you have trick plays that help get some touchdowns. And then Caden Hanshaw with an angry run from 23 yards out. And
not to be confused with Angry Birds.
A little different there, but this first half, it's safe to say, maybe you could say maybe another touchdown to where you can't quite call it a dominating first half.
Right.
But the Cougs are in control.
There's no question about that. They are winning the line of scrimmage. Defensively, the Cougars have bent a couple of times, but didn't break. Forced a turnover right at the beginning of the red zone earlier in the game. It's really, I'm sure Coach Jones can pick apart the first half performance, but as sitting here watching it from the press box, pretty impressive by the Cougars. Pretty impressive first half display.
Grayson County leads 20-0 at the half. Coming up next, we are going to jump into our Cougar conversations. We are going to sit down and have a talk with our good friend, and we hope yours, George Lindsay. Some really good conversation coming up. And you will also be able to find on our YouTube channel tomorrow an extended talk with George. It's a really good conversation, so make sure you stay tuned in. We'll talk to him next as Grayson County leads North Bullitt 20-0 at the half. This is Cougar football on K105.
Looking for more in this world? Then we are looking for you. The big-hearted, the bold, those driven by purpose. We are the Peace Corps, volunteers, partners, communities in more than 60 countries, bringing our experience, joy, and passion to building a better world together. Are you ready to serve boldly, to go the distance to make a difference? Then we have a place where you belong. Join us.
When you're on a boat, it's a joyful exploration of life.
And I don't know one person that hasn't dipped below the water and had a life-changing experience.
The best thing about boating is getting out on the open water.
It's not a country club. It's for everybody.
Miles, you're late. Again.
You are not living
Where have you
up to
been?
your full potential.
No sense of responsibility.
Everyone's going through something, even superheroes.
Is that the best you can do? This mediocre work is
You're not reaching your full potential.
Unacceptable, Miles.
Let's take the stigma out of asking for help.
Hey, Dad. You got a minute?
Yeah, what's up, son?
If you need support, visit kevinlovefund.org to learn more.
I just got so much on my mind,
Welcome to Cougar Conversations. This week, George Lindsay is our guest, and he joins us from Houston. Hey, George, good to see you.
Hey, Mark. How are you, sir?
Doing very well. Pleasure to talk with you again. I have it on good authority that not only are we talking GCHS 50, but we're talking GL radio career 50. Just last week, you celebrated 50 years in radio.
How crazy is that? But yeah, I started right there at that microphone at that radio station when I was 15 years old in September of 1974 with Dave Thompson and Barry Downs and all the guys that were there at the time guiding me. By the way, it was me, John Asher, and Daryl Duval all started about the same time there. They were there a little bit before me, but yeah, 50 years, and it all started right there at that studio, man.
What class would you have been in then at Grayson County High School?
So I graduated in 1977. I was the first sophomore class to come into the new consolidated school. My freshman year was at Caneyville. And Mark, I got to tell you, man, I remember the trepidation and all the rumors that were going on about this big consolidated school that they were building. And we were going to have Clarkson folks there, and we're going to have Litchfield folks and the Caneyville people. And coming from Caneyville School, which, by the way, was kindergarten through 12th grade, all in one building, and sometimes all in one hallway. It was a little overwhelming to think about going to this big new building that they were building for Grayson County High School. But man, once I got there, and some of my best friends in life have come from Clarkson and Litchfield and all the different places that came together. And I think it was, it was a different time, obviously, but man, the way that everybody pulled together those first few years to create something called a Cougar for Grayson County, and they weren't Red Hawks anymore, or they weren't Flashes anymore. It was really special to be part of that first classes that were there at Grayson County.
Were there other challenges of consolidation that you remember other than those two specific ones?
I think the biggest thing was, and this is going to sound crazy again in today's world, but the time difference in getting to school. Before it would take 10, 15 minutes to drive from our house on Dog Creek to the Caneyville school there. And now all of a sudden you were having to do 30 or 45 minutes. And before I had my license, the very first, start of the school year there, the very first year of Grayson County, I was riding the bus. And I mean, all of a sudden the bus ride was an hour and a half, an hour 45. And so that was a big, big change. I know for me personally, and for my brothers and sisters at the time too, that were younger than me.
Well, and we both know that's where you learn a lot about life is on the school bus.
What did LB Shane say? I learned about life in the back of the school bus in Grayson County. Yeah. I mean, he has a song about that. Yeah.
That's right. Well, by the way, he was our guest last week, so we've got back-to-back Dog Creek.
By the way, great interview. LV is amazing, and you are so great at interviewing people.
So I had the pleasure to interview Mr. Ashby earlier in the season. He was one of our early Cougar conversations, and he's just a wealth of knowledge and such a treasure. But he's someone important to you as well.
Yeah, changed my life. I mean, changed my life all the way back when I was in the 7th grade at Caneyville High School. And Mr. Ashby came on as the band director and was looking for somebody that was big enough to carry a tuba. And so he convinced me that I should be in band. And I went to my parents, and Mark, I remember them talking about how they were going to get the money to rent an instrument for me to be in band. We couldn't afford to buy an instrument, but we rented a trombone to start with, and I got started in band. And Mr. Ashby, I mean, it's not an exaggeration. He really did change my life in exposing me to things that I hadn't been part of before, and that team building of a band and the discipline it takes to go out and practice every day and get that field show right, or get the concert band right. And I told him, I saw him a few years ago, and I told him that every day, to this day, 50 years later, I always take time to be quiet. Quiet time, he called it, when we were in band. And we would, when we were on the buses going to a field show, he demanded that we sit in silence for the last 5 minutes of that drive to wherever we were going, and to think about what we were going to do, what our part was in the show, how we were going to execute it. And I still, to this day, do that with my radio show. What's coming up today? What's my part in it? How do I execute it? So to say that Mr. Ashby is a life-changing person for me is not an exaggeration.
There are other faculty or staff that stand out to you from the mid-'70s?
Well, there's so many, actually. How much time do we have? But a couple that I'll mention. Miss Brenda Bryant was English teacher, and Mark, she was so. I felt like in high school she hated me because she was so strict on me. And later in life, I became friends with her as an adult. And she always told me, she said, George, I was hard on you because I knew you could do better than what you were doing. You were such a jokester that I wanted you to focus. And so I always think of her. I still stay in touch with her and message her on Facebook all the time. So she was very important. Also, Matt Stoll was a teacher of, well, I'm trying to remember. It was, at the time, we called it social sciences or political science or whatever. And he was another person that really was able to motivate me to do better.
Do you have other favorite memories from that era that you still look back on fondly?
One of the things I do remember most, though, is E.E. McGee. I mean, we all love Coach McGee and Red. We just think the world, and I hope he's doing well. But I remember when we first started that very first year at the school, the gymnasium wasn't finished yet. And so a lot of times they were playing some of the basketball games at Litchfield because they had the biggest, nicest gym. And I remember talking to EE about it, and I was like, man, this is stupid. This is crazy that we don't have our own gym. Why do we have to go to Litchfield? You know, why do we have to be part of that? I'm a Caneyville guy. So was he, by the way. And, you know, he was one of the guys that set me down, and he said, George, you're looking at it all wrong. He said, this is the first step into a brand new world. And yes, we have to take a step back. Yes, you're going to have to be in an uncomfortable situation at a rival's gym for our home, basketball games or whatever. But he said, if you look at this right, and if you play your cards right, this can be the start of something incredible in your life. He said, you want to do more than Grayson County. And he said, this is the start right here today. And I remember it, standing in that unfinished gymnasium and talking to E.E. McGee, that it was, again, one of those moments that I look back on very fondly.
Hey, thanks for your time. You truly are one of the great sons and great byproducts of Grayson County High School. And we're extremely proud of you. I know the community is, and it's always an honor to speak to you.
Well, the honor is mine. Again, I was in that studio one of these days, and maybe one of these days in retirement, I'll come back and sit next to you a day or two a week. How about that?
That sounds great. It's a pleasure. This is George Lindsay, a part of our Cougar Conversation, and more Cougar football is coming up here on K105.
Midway Pharmacy is your trusted local partner in health and wellness, offering free delivery so you never have to worry about picking up your medications. The friendly staff knows you by name and is always ready to assist you. Living and raising our families in the same community, they understand your needs. With a wide range of services and personalized care, Midway Pharmacy is here to make your life easier and healthier. Visit or call any countywide location today of Midway Pharmacy.
When we have the food we need, we are at our best. We push further. We rise higher. We unlock our full potential. When we have the food we need, we make our communities stronger. Together, we can help everyone get the food they need to thrive. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Struggling to pay your house payment? Apply for the Team Kentucky Homeowner Assistance Fund today at protectmykyhome.org. It provides up to $60,000 for Kentuckians with a COVID-related financial hardship. The money can be used for mortgage bills, utility payments, insurance premiums, property taxes, and HOA fees. Applicants must meet certain criteria to receive assistance. Check your eligibility today at protectmykyhome.org. This ad was sponsored by Kentucky Housing Corporation and this station.
Cougar football on K105.
Welcome back here to North Bullitt High School. Grayson leads 20-0 at the half. It got started. First play from scrimmage, a 56-yard touchdown pass from Chaffins to Chaffins. And it was an early 6-0 advantage. The next drive ended in a 1-yard touchdown run by Colby Chaffins. The Cougs led 12-0. North Bullitt had only touched the ball once. Second quarter, it was a 23-yard touchdown run by Caden Hanshaw. That gave the Cougars a 20-0 lead. That is what they have right now. Grayson County forced 2 turnovers as well in the first half of play. Cougs lead 20-0, 1 half away from a potential home playoff game. That'll come up next here on K105.
Smith Overhead Door isn't just about opening and closing. We're about safety, security, and style for your home or business. As a Future Designs company, we're lifting expectations across Grayson and surrounding counties with top brands like CHI and Chamberlain.
Hey there, I'm Kevin Brooks with Smith Overhead Door. Whether it's a sturdy LiftMaster for your garage or a sleek Clopay door for your shop, we install and service with a commitment to reliability. Smith Overhead Door, we're opening up possibilities.
Secure your entrance at SOHD.info.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. Innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Bob with Hometown Hangout Sports Pub and Grill. You might have noticed we don't have fancy decor or celebrity chefs. It's true, we've ignored the trend of upscale dining and extravagant renovations. That gets pretty expensive, you know. And in the end, it's the customer who pays for those upgrades. Not at Hometown Hangout. Our guests come to us for one thing, to have a great time. Whether you're with the family, the whole team, or just friends, you'll love our fun atmosphere, exciting games, and great food. Hometown Hangout on West White Oak. See you after the game.
Cougar football on K105.
Getting ready to kick off the second half of play. Grayson leads 20-0. Sam and Ken back with you high atop North Bullitt High School. Ken, I felt like I was going to need a ski lift to get up here. It's steep.
It's a little steep and it is high. You did miss the mark on that. But it gives us a pretty good, overview of the field.
Vantage point. Evan Hasty kicks away. Far side. It is going to be caught back at the 14-yard line by North Bullitt, carrying it up to the 20, 25-30. Blockers in front and ripped down at the 35-yard line. Nice tackle on that far side of the field. Dussel in on the return. And Brenton Robinson is going to get credit for the tackle. To the 36-yard line, that's where North Bullitt has it. Grayson leads 20-0. Cougars force 2 turnovers in the first half of play, and really the defense played pretty well.
Yes, I thought obviously, I guess they shut out North Bullitt here in the first half, but they did. The defense played outstanding. North Bullitt's been able to run the ball a little bit, but Grayson is in bend but don't break mode.
Grayson County's defense has given up touchdowns the last couple of weeks on the first drive of the second half. Let's see if that will continue this week. Dorsey, screen pass, far side. It's caught up the far sideline. A little catch and run for Trevor Ernspiker. So he'll carry it up to the 45 or the 40. Let's see, where's he going to put it? A 45-yard line. Hawkins in on the tackle, 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, nice tackle by Hawkins as well.
Trevor Ernspiker and Evan Ernspiker are both listed as seniors.
Twins?
Ernspiker, not
Twins?
a common
Twins?
last name,
Cousins?
potentially twins. But then again, Grayson County has 2 seniors that are both Chaffins that are not twins.
Yeah, that's what I say. Maybe the Ernspikers are cousins.
I don't know.
You never know.
2 men go in motion, and that'll be an illegal motion.
That was something didn't look. I was going to say.
And they're just going to throw it away.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Well,
two
you
men
can, but it's a penalty.
Two men go into motion at the same time. And
yeah, I was like, when they both jumped into motion, I'm like, wait a minute, that does not look right.
And they did. And it was funny because both of the slot receivers went at the same time. And they turned, and as soon as they took a step, they saw that their buddy did it, and you could see both of them were like,
no.
Who screwed up?
Who messed this up? Right.
Back to the 40-yard line. That turned 2nd and 1 into 2nd and 6.
Yeah, we joke about that penalty, but for North Bullitt, that's a terrible mistake. You're on the verge of a first down. Now you're 2nd and 6. And the way this Grayson County D has been playing tonight puts them in a good position.
2nd down and 6 from the North Bullitt 40-yard line. They're working from right to left now on the radio dial. Dorsey,
he's going
all
left.
day to throw over the middle. Dussel
Nice.
catches it first down, absorbs the hit from Matthew McAllister, brings it down to the 49-yard line. That'll be enough to move the first move the chains for a first down.
Really beautiful move. He just turned inside Matthew, and there really wasn't a whole lot McAllister could do about that, but he did get the nice takedown on the catch.
He delivered a good hit.
Yes, he did.
It was just a better catch by Dussel.
Yeah, he just turned on the inside. And as a defensive back, there's not a whole lot you can do about that.
Dussel only 2 catches coming into the game. He's been targeted. He was targeted on the interception that Shane Hall got, then comes away with a catch there.
He's their leading. He's the one with 4 picks on the year.
You are correct. Motion. Handoff up the middle to Ernspiker. Hits the 45 down to the 40 and carries blockers down to about the 37-yard line. 11 yards, first down for North Bullitt.
We've got
Will Vincent.
Will Vincent limping off the field. He was taken down on that play. I don't know if that injury is related to that, where that hole opened up, but I don't know if that's an ankle or a knee or a cramp, but he's feeling it in his right leg.
It looks like they're working on his ankle right now, and the chain gang almost tripped him on the way. The guy put the line down right as he was getting off the field, and he was hobbling as he went off. Obviously, there's no intent with that,
That's
really
bad
just what
timing.
happened.
Unfortunate timing.
10-15 left, third quarter. Grayson leads 20-0. Kelly shifts in motion. They'll give it to Ernspiker
there you
again.
go.
Nice low tackle made by Grayson County. Camden Cornwell. Second time we've called his name today.
You've called his name a few times tonight. And that was an expert tackle. Just take his legs out. That's what you do with a big guy like that. You don't try to tackle him up high. Ernspiker, pretty good sized fella up top.
Ernspiker listed 6'2", 230. That's a big old boy.
That's a hoss. Yes, that's a hoss.
And Ken, you see sometimes on
inflated.
Yeah. No, I believe
he's
that
a big
absolutely.
Kid. Yeah, he's a big kid.
And I don't think he has a percent of fat on his body at all.
Oh.
That's going to be an illegal motion as well on North Bullitt.
Man, those are just what you call coach killers. When you see a coach with premature gray or losing his hair, that's why.
It's actually a snap infraction is what they officially call it, as the man in motion was Brennan Childers. And what happened on that is he stuttered a little bit on his motion. So because of that, the timing of the play was over. And it's just amazing how football is such a game of timing. Second down, and it'll be second down at about 13, yes. Dorsey rolling out near side. He's being pressured, throwing, floating, and it is incomplete. In and out of the hands of the aforementioned Childers, and it'll fall incomplete.
Jimmy Lear, once again, if he was 3 inches taller, that would have been a pick. He had that spied out, came over from midfield and almost made the play.
3rd and 13.
What is Lear?
20-0, Grayson leads.
Only a junior. North Bullitt in no hurry. Down 20-0.
Very quiet here as well.
Yeah, the crowd
at
has
CT Collins Field in Hebron Estates. 1 to the left side, 2 to the right side, pistol formation. Dorsey looks over the middle, low throw, looking for Dussel again, and it is incomplete. McAllister in on coverage, but
that was a dart. The receiver just wasn't ready for that ball. Thrown very hard.
North Bullitt decision time. No decision needed for the interim head coach Jason Schum 4th and long. They are going to go for it on their own side of the Grayson County side of the field.
You're on the positive side of the field, down 29 minutes left to go in the third. You almost have to go for it.
Dorsey is still a bit of a limp. I know our good friend Roger Lush texted me that there was a play in the first half that when he ran the ball, he came up and he had a limp immediately. So something had to have happened on that play.
So do we have to pay Lush for that information?
Yes.
Okay.
He gets your paycheck for tonight.
We'll get the check in the mail then.
2 on each side. Dorsey in the shotgun formation. 2 pass.
No
rolling
pressure.
Out far side. Here comes the pressure for Grayson County. And they will not get him. Dorsey up far side. He's not going to get the first down. Turnover on downs. Grayson County football.
Yeah, outstanding job. I thought they were going to bring him down, Sam, but that's outstanding pursuit by 2 linemen. 79. That one of those in pursuit was
Tristan
that
Brooks. It was Tristan Brooks, 78.
Okay, my bad.
8:52 left, third quarter.
I don't know if Vincent's come back in the game. I do not see him sitting down on the sideline over there.
Cougars will have it on their own 32-yard line. Had 3 scoring drives in the first half of play. Kept by Chaffins on the option run. Left side, he spins as he was hit, and the spin move is going to allow him to carry it up to the 36-yard line, 4-yard gain.
That's something he has patented, that spin move. That he consistently spins out of trouble. Just an athletic move by the quarterback.
Caden Hanshaw does very similar things as well. The spin on the first contact.
Yeah, I think that they have been, I don't know if that's, just instinct, natural, or if they've been taught that, but it's very effective. Almost like Barry Sanders. He was probably the best I've ever seen at spinning out of trouble.
2nd and 6 for Grayson County. A running back on each side. They're going to give it to Hanshaw. Left side run, runs behind one of his wide receivers, bounces outside to the 40, and gets to the 45-yard line.
In the middle of the run, he's 4 or 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, still showing great patience, and ended up picking up another 4 or 5, 6 yards on that run.
Officially, Hanshaw will get it to the 46, which is what I originally thought. The umpire in the middle of the field, when he was spotting the ball, was originally standing at the 50 and ended up moving it back 4 yards. I didn't know if Hanshaw scurried up that far sideline and gained a couple of more than that I didn't originally see. 1st and 10. Ball placed in the Grayson County 46-yard line. Under 8 left. Third quarter, Grayson leads North Bullitt 20-0.
Long shot. Watch the long shot. Nope.
Tripped up the middle. Hanshaw. He gains about 2. So he gets it up to the 48.
Yeah, this kid falls down, picks up 2 or 3 yards. He was just tripped up a little bit.
2nd and 8. Grayson County with a win and a Seneca loss tonight would clinch a home playoff game that will be played here in early November. Now, if Seneca would win today, technically the Cougars would not clinch a home playoff game, but some weird would have to happen for them to not have it. Run
nice
Mudd up the middle.
Inside.
He gets to the 50-yard line, gets down to the 45. Ball comes out.
He got it. He's back on top of it.
And
nice.
It does look like Mudd does fall on it. It's past the first down marker. That's going to move the chains down to the 43.
I'm not sure if that was designed to go through that B gap, but he saw an opening there and made a very nice cut where he was looking at possibly losing yardage. But that's good field vision there by Mr. Mudd.
7:07 left, third quarter. Grayson County leads 20-0. Fifth-year head coach Brian Jones, 28-20. And we have a whistle blown, and
we're going to have a conversation here at close to midfield.
We'll see what this is about.
This it has to be something North Bullitt. It's the back judge on their side. Game clock. They're talking about the clock.
They're taking 25 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, we're at 7:07. He's telling the clock, whoever's running the clock, to go to 6:41. Is that what he said?
I believe that is what he said. They're putting the clock on. We can see it. They run their
maybe
clock
it
on
didn't started late or something.
They run their clock on an iPad.
Oh, okay.
There's a
difficulties
clock
with the clock
issue right now.
We can see him working on it right now, right next to us.
So, yes, they have their clock on an iPad, and he looks like he's going to do the old-fashioned, if it's not working, Ken, what do you always got to do? Turn it off and turn it back on.
Turn it back. There you go.
That's exactly what he said. I guess it might not be an iPad. It might be a Windows tablet. It's funny, we have the best angle out of anybody watching them work on this.
Yeah,
he's turning it off.
No, right next to it. He's waiting for it to come back on now.
While it is going on, we'll see if we can't find a score to bring you from around the area. Grayson County leads this 20-0. Bethlehem leads Butler County 22-8 at the half. Russellville leads Ballard Memorial 28-8 halfway through the second quarter. Franklin Simpson on top of Glasgow 21-14. Let's see here. I know John Hardin was up big. Central Hardin leads Warren Central 7-0 late first half. Owensboro Catholic has expanded their lead. They lead 42-6 against Todd County Central. Edmondson County trails Fort Campbell 15-14 late in the second quarter there. Those are a couple of scores from around the region. Apollo up on Graves County
14,
as
10.
well. The game clock is now going to be kept on the field. We are going to attempt to keep the game clock on your screen as well. Our director, Simon Drain, he is going to run it perfectly for you at home, so you'll be able to keep track.
Oh, nice.
Kept Chaffins up the middle. He'll gain about 2.
I thought everybody was going after Caden. It was going to open up that left side for Colby, but good job of that North Bullitt right side of their line staying home.
No gain, or a gain of 1 rather.
Maybe
on the play.
A yard, yes.
For Colby Chaffins. So again,
now we're running.
The clock, well, it is running.
So
we're back.
6:18, 6:17.
They are going to say that the clock is still on the field, but they're keeping it on the
But
scoreboard.
it is on the scoreboard, yes.
And the clock that if our director today, Mr. Simon Drain, can be trusted, and I do trust him. He is the same time as the scoreboard. And I trust Simon. I know you do too, Ken.
You trust in Drain. That's what I grew up learning.
Run, Hanshaw. Gets the edge, gets around one tackler,
Nice.
gets around a second one, comes up the near side to the 30, and he's brought down across the 35-yard line, getting down near the first down marker. It's down to the 34. He's 1 yard short, 8-yard gain for Hanshaw.
Excellent job by Caden that time, avoiding the low tackle, tried to take his legs out. He just kind of jumped over the kid, ends up gaining another 3 or 4 yards. I don't know what his yardage total is tonight, but
he had about 54 at halftime, according to our good friend Roger Lush.
We thank Mr. Lush for that information.
3rd and 1 for Grayson. Placed on the North Bullitt 34-yard line. I formation, quarterback sneak, Chaffins, he got it.
Oh, yeah.
And he got it
He's
more.
still going.
Carries it across the 30-yard line.
Kobe.
He's still on his feet.
Beautiful.
As he gets down across the 25-yard line. The quarterback sneak turns into a gain of 10 yards.
And that's just,
first down, Cougs.
That's a combination of want-to and poor tackling, quite honestly.
And Colby is a big, strong quarterback.
And they're trying to take him out up high, about 2 or 3 guys at the same time. He just drug them down the field. Looked like John Riggins. For those in my age category, they'll know who John Riggins is.
Back when leather helmets were used, and, right?
Well, not quite, but close.
1st and 10. Grayson on the 24-yard line. Hawkins in motion. Hanshaw run. Nice move. Goes to the left. Carries it across the 20-yard line, rather.
We have a North Bullitt fan in front of us, noticing the extremely large hole that Caden had to run through that time.
It's down to the 18-yard line. 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4. I don't think he said hole, Ken. I think he said hold.
Oh, I thought he was complaining about, he was talking about a hold. He thought there was a hold on the play.
Yes,
gotcha.
I don't think he
I
wants
thought
holes.
he was talking about the monstrous hole that Caden ran through.
And I think he's saying that said hole was because of a hold.
Right.
Hawkins again in motion. Now he will go back out into the slot. Tripped a little bit. They give it to Hanshaw inside the 15. Spin move at the 10.
Keep going,
It
son.
gets down to the 5-yard line. Caden Hanshaw. A gain of about 12 or 13 yards for Hanshaw. Looks like down to the 6-yard line. It is a gain of 12 and a first down, Grayson County.
You know, this game plan here, second half, Sam, is simply feed the beast. Feed the beast. And he is certainly, along with his offensive line, Hanshaw getting it done here in the second half.
1st and goal from the 6. 3:18, we believe, left. First, or 3:10 and counting left, third quarter, at least according to what our time is. Again, the time is currently being kept on the field. 20-0, Grayson leads. Hanshaw already has one rushing touchdown in the game. Maybe looking for his second. They're going to give it to Hanshaw. Runs behind Mudd. He crosses the 5-yard line, gets down to about the 1 or the 2. And maybe more like the 3. Gain of 3 yards for Hanshaw down to the 3.
Yeah, 34 who took with the takedown is hurt.
Leland Rome.
Yeah, he's gingerly walking. He's trying to stay in the game. I can't believe they will leave this kid in the game with him walking like that. But
Rome, the junior.
He's staying in the game, Sam. Look
you know
at
what
him.
I do? You run right at him right now.
Yeah, well, sure. If Grayson County has noticed that, because he is limping noticeably.
I formation. Hanshaw run. He's hit in the backfield
nice
and dropped.
Nice
Chase
takedown.
King in on the tackle.
Yeah.
No gain.
We have another slow Eagle getting up slowly. Is that King? So Hanshaw, the last 2 guys that have tackled him, he's injured.
3:18 left, and we have a timeout now.
Is that Jim Brown out there?
Timeout is called, and I think this is going to be an injury timeout.
He's going down.
We're going to keep it here, though. Grayson County leads 20-0. They'll have it 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Let's see if we can't find a more Seneca score.
That's what you call a punishing runner, Caden Hanshaw.
I do not see any more Seneca scores
Nothing
as
yet?
well. As I do the look through, I'll see if I can't effort in different ways. Other scores to bring you. Warren East leads Allen County Scottsville 16-7 at the half. Mayo leads Frederick Douglass 21-14 at the half. Actually, 28-14
okay.
is the score as well.
Thought
Those are a
that would
couple
be
of
a
ones.
really tough game.
Graves leads Apollo as well, now 18-14. We did give a shout-out earlier to Simon Drain, who's your director tonight. We also got to give a shout-out. We had to call into the bullpen today.
That's right.
To Kenzie Kinchlow, who's running our camera today.
Doing an outstanding job.
This is her first time ever doing a football game. And I don't know how much football she really knows, and I think she would admit that. So
she knows enough to follow the ball.
It is, and I think she's doing a very, very good job today, so we'll give her a huge shout-out. According to our good friend, another shout-out we can give to Roger Lush. He now has Caden Hanshaw, 14 carries, 94 yards.
Thank you for that, Roger. I'm sure he's laid back in his easy chair in beautiful North Carolina, taking the game in.
He might be watching it in his little man cave.
We'll root for North Carolina State tomorrow on his behalf. I'm not sure who the Wolfpack play tomorrow.
Out of the timeout, 3rd and goal from the 3. Trips to the left side. Hanshaw to the right of Chaffins in the shotgun formation. It is going to be kept by Chaffins up the middle, and it's not the right decision. He carries it,
keeps
though,
going,
down
though.
to the 1. Is he in?
They're saying
no.
touchdown. Oh.
Down at the 1. The Cougars are trying to plead their case. Every offensive lineman put their hands in the air saying touchdown. The official on the far side disagrees.
You have to give North Bullitt's O-line linebackers credit on this defensive stand. They're really making the Cougs work for this.
4th down and goal from the 1. Maybe even the half-yard line. Cougars going to keep the offense on the field. The time, at least according to us, is 1:10 left 3rd quarter. Again, there is no time being kept on the field. It's being kept on the field right now. The scoreboard had some malfunctions, and Brian Jones wants a timeout. And we will take the timeout with him. Cougars lead 20-0. It's Cougar football on K105.
Miles, you're late. Again.
You are not living
Where have you
up to
been?
your full potential.
No sense of responsibility.
Everyone's going through something, even superheroes.
Is that the best you can do? This mediocre work is
You're not reaching your full
Grades
potential.
are unacceptable, Miles.
Let's take the stigma out of asking for help.
Hey, Dad. You got a minute?
Yeah, what's up, son?
If you need support, visit kevinlovefund.org to learn more.
I just got so much on my mind, you know?
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
4th down and goal from the 1-yard line for Grayson County. Pitch to the high side to Hanshaw. He's in! Touchdown, Grayson, but a penalty
late
flag comes in late.
That's going to be a holding call.
Let's see what the call is. It is in the vicinity of being a hold.
I still go, well, it's 4th down.
4th and 10, or 4th and 11 now.
Yeah. Yep.
Holding.
It really
Called
unnecessary.
on Camden Cornwell on the left side of the line.
Yeah, not picking on that kid. He's played an outstanding game, but that was an unnecessary hold because Caden was in for 6, regardless.
Grayson, it would be a 28-yard field goal for Evan Hasty. He's missed 2 PATs today, though, and it looks like the Cougars are going to keep the offense on the field. Trips down to the near side, 1 to the left. In the gun goes Chafin's, Hanshaw to his right. Colby rolls out near side. Space to run if he wants. He's throwing end zone, intercepted by North Bullitt.
What a play.
Great play made by Jackson Dussel, his 5th interception of the season.
Right. Colby threw a bullet, but just tremendous coverage there by Dussel.
Really nice interception by Dussel.
Yeah, that was just a nice play. You have to tip your cap. But I tell you,
one second. You're sorry. The PA announcer just said it's the end of the 3rd quarter. That I don't believe. I don't believe it is the end of the 3rd quarter. If it is, then our clock is way off. I don't know.
Well, it's been on 12 minutes for several
The
minutes.
PA announcer, though, just said it's the end of the quarter. And they're running to the other side of the field as if to say it is the end of the quarter.
Yep.
Well, we didn't have enough time to take a timeout, so we're going to have to keep it here. Again, the clock was kept on the field for the majority of that 3rd quarter after some technical difficulties. And honestly, if you're North Bullitt, you probably wanted to save that time because you
well, you're down 20-0.
Yeah, you need 53 seconds if you can, and that's at least what our clock was. And again, we're not official, but I trust Simon enough to know that he wasn't 53 seconds
Simon,
off.
that's what we had, 53 seconds?
That's what he did have. And I trust him. The North Bullitt Middle School football team is currently being recognized, but they're not going to get much time because they're getting ready to play. And they're going to have to pop back off the field.
Yeah, we don't
the play clock's running.
Kids getting hurt.
Pistol formation, 2 on each side. Man shifts in motion.
Get him.
Dorsey gets away from one tackler in the backfield. Comes up near side. He's going to scramble it himself to the 20.
Nice play.
He runs out of bounds up to the 26-yard line for Dorsey, a gain of about 6 yards.
He avoided trouble about 6-7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Ends up making a positive gain. Looks like he got about 6 yards on that deal. Nice play by the quarterback.
2nd and 4.
I don't know who that was in hot pursuit of him, but he did well to get away.
North Bullitt going to have to start to look to maybe pass a little more. You're in the 4th quarter. You're down 20-0 with 11:53 left.
And that's just something they're not accustomed to doing. So let's see if GC can take advantage of that if that's the route they take.
1 on each side, pistol formation. Couple of blockers on the left side. It's Ernspiker on the carry. He gets to the 30-yard line before being dropped at the 31. That'll be enough to move the chains. First down.
He is flat out a bowling ball. He's a bull.
He is one of those players that you don't want to tackle.
Right. Yeah, hurts too much.
Yeah, because he's just a massive kid. And I'd be interested to see.
You gotta wonder.
I do some D3 football games and so on, and you can't tell me that he's not a Division III running back. He's not even better than that.
Right. I was gonna say. I mean, he's not. He's not like he doesn't have game-breaking speed, but he's not slow. But such a bull like that, you would think somebody would find a spot on their roster for this kid.
Even if you play him at tight end. Whistle blown, and I believe we're going to have a delay of game called against North Bullitt. It is. Delay of game called against the Eagles.
That's inexcusable.
By
the way, clocks, as we've been talking about the clock so much, 11:03 the clock is showing left in the 4th quarter. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's what the clock says.
It is. They did say that they are back to running the clock
they did. Okay,
up here.
I missed that.
1st and 15, and now we have
There's
motion.
another Wow.
And they're going to give this on Grayson.
Oh, I see North Bullitt grabbing their helmet, but that's on the Cougars.
And it looks like it might be on
Yep.
Matthew McAllister.
Yep, it's on the Cougars. Okay, we're exchanging penalties.
Each one gives 5 yards. 11:03 left in the game. 20-0, Grayson leads. With a win, the Cougars are guaranteed at least a share of a district title. They could then go outright and win it 2 weeks from tonight up at Seneca. Dorsey kept himself, comes across the near side, gets to the 40-yard line, up the near sideline, and he'll scurry up out of bounds near the 50-yard line, 19-yard gain.
Everybody's pursuing Ernspiker on that call. Just a nice play there by the quarterback.
In fact, they give him an even better spot down to the 49.
Yeah, he's got a little speed to him also.
20-yard pickup officially for the run on Dorsey.
Yeah, he averages about 42, 44 yards rushing a game.
First and 10. Wishbone. We saw this on their second drive of the game.
They did that earlier, yes.
Haven't seen it much since. Kept again, Dorsey. Run near side, gets away from one tackler and makes a smart decision to just take a slide because Grayson Chapins
was ready to decleat him on that deal. That was a smart play by the quarterback.
I do see a score here, thanks to a YouTube commenter. Louisville Moore leads Seneca 14-7 at the half. If that result holds, Grayson County would host a playoff game.
Moore would be favored in that game, no?
It's probably a toss-up. It depends on where it is. I'm not sure if it's at Moore or Seneca today. 2nd and 7. One on each side. To pass is Dorsey.
Get him.
Ball fake. Runs up left side, and he's sacked in the backfield for a loss of about 2 yards.
That's a coverage sack right there. There was nothing downfield, nothing. And excellent job by the Cougars secondary. I'm not sure. Did you see who?
Looks like Elijah Stevenson is going to get credit for the sack. Loss of 2. Back to the 48. 3rd and 9 will come up. Third and 9. North Bullitt really in no hurry, down 20.
You know, they don't have a sense of urgency as I thought they would here in this fourth quarter.
Some miscommunication happening on offense, some confusion. They're going to have to snap this as well. They do. Dorsey, ball fake, now spins and rolls near side. Throwing, complete first down up the near sideline. That is caught and run by Burton as he carries it down to the 31-yard line. Pickup of 17 for Jaden Burton.
Give Caden Hanshaw some kudos there on nice pursuit, nice takedown of that runner, because that might be 6 without that tackle.
1st and 10 from the Grayson County 32-yard line now for North Bullitt. 20-0, Grayson has the lead. Back to the wishbone. 2 to the left, 1 to the near side, ball placed in the near hash. Cougars showing pressure. They rush 3. Option again, Dorsey carries it across the 30 and slides down.
Again,
down to the 27.
In front of Grayson Chapins.
5-yard gain. Now, if the game's a little closer, those 5-yard runs are okay. But North Bullitt,
the clock is ticking, baby. 8:20, 8:19.
And
You're
Grayson
3 scores
County,
down.
They're saying, come on, clock, roll. Keep on rolling. And we can burn up 65 on the way home.
I might take the back roads home tonight.
2 to the left, 1 to the right side. Now they're a second receiver, Burton, will join. Under 8 now left in the game. Cougars show pressure.
I don't know
that is going to be offside called against Grayson.
I think that's on us unless they flinched.
Looks like it is on Stevenson.
I didn't see.
It is on Elijah Stevenson.
Okay. Again, this Grayson County defense giving up some yardage, giving up some run plays. But let's see if they continue to not break by keeping the Eagles out of the end zone. A shutout is always a beautiful thing.
Down to the 22. It'll be second and... Nope. I thought the official said first down. No, he's saying first down. They have not moved the chains. Our head official needs to move the chains.
They have not moved the chains.
And now they're going to have to blow the time.
They still haven't moved the chains.
Our head official did say first down.
Yes. Or, no. Yeah.
There they go.
And good for another.
First and goal for North Bullitt at the Grayson 22.
I give the crowd an A for staying in the game.
Cougs in control, 20-0. Running back on each side. Dorsey puts it in the pocket near side to Burton, and he's tripped up as he crosses the 15-yard line by Grayson Chaffins. The shoestring tackle, and Matthew McAllister finished it off. It's a 10-yard pickup, first down to the 12.
Yeah, Chaffins kind of put him off balance a little bit, even though he did make the tackle, but finished it up about 3 or 4 yards down the field. Is this the closest to the goal line that they've been tonight, 12-yard line?
Have to go back and look here.
They were in the red zone a couple of times, but I don't know.
They have not been in the red zone tonight.
Oh, they haven't been in the red zone. They didn't turn the ball over. Maybe it was.
It was on the outer edge of the 22, and we have false start on everybody but the center on North Bullitt. 6:56 to go. Another score update here. Again, shout out to our YouTube commenter. 21-13. More leads Seneca. Again, if that result holds and our result holds, Grayson County clinches a home playoff game that will be played on the second Friday in November the 8th. They would be matched up against one of 4 teams, Atherton, Butler, Fairdale, or Iroquois. Be one of those 4 teams. Probably not Atherton. First and 15. Pitch, Ern Spiker. He hits the 15, 10, 5, and he is up and out of bounds down at the 5-yard line, 7-yard gain.
Well, the one good thing, they are moving the ball. They're also eating up a tremendous amount of clock. Only 6:36 left to go here in this football game.
20-0. 12-yard gain on the run. It's actually down to the 6, so only 11 officially for North Bullitt. Second down and short for the Eagles. Again, in no hurry whatsoever.
Yeah, just no urgency.
But I guess the clock is currently stopped.
Surprises me.
Dorsey passes over the middle, caught, touchdown. Avery Kelly pulls
How did
it in.
he see him? In the back of the end zone. What a dart. What a dart.
Dorsey finds Kelly. 6:31 left in the game.
Is that the kid? Yep, that's the kid. How he saw that little kid in the number 3 in the back of the end zone through all those players. What a throw. What a throw. Hat tip. That's all you can do.
North Bullitt. Are they going to go for 2? No, they don't have a holder.
We've got a player talking to either an official or some.
And North Bullitt is going to have to take a timeout on a PAT.
Wow. Wow.
Because they didn't have a holder on the field. We'll take it with them. 6:31 left. Well, actually, no, we'll end up keeping it here because we'll take it after the the PAT attempt. So it's 20-6. Grayson leads. And it is 6:31 left here in this football game. And you would imagine that North Bullitt's going to have to start kicking some onside kicks and have to get a little weird here.
Yeah, you know, if you're North Bullitt, you have to onside kick. I think it's a rule. Isn't it a rule? Should be. Down 20-6.
Dorsey is holding. He was the player that was not on the field. Here comes the PAT. Good snap. Good hold. It's just long enough, and it's good. 20-7, 6:31 to go. It's Cougar football on K105.
I'm Naheem Hines, proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom has muscular dystrophy, and the MDA helps her and kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan, and I'm 12 years old. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. And MDA funds over 150 care centers for kids like me.
For over 70 years, MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Learn more at mda.org today.
Left in the football game. Sam Gormley and Ken Hallett with you. I'll tell you, the lights are cool, Ken, aren't they?
It is.
It's very
I like
cool.
how and they're using them. You know, it's not too much. They're not overdoing it, you know.
We need to get you to donate the money to the school to get those at Grayson County High School.
Yeah, okay, I'll get right on that. I'll talk to my banker about that tomorrow.
We'll call them the K105 Ken Hallett lights. We'll put your picture on it. I got connections. Here comes the onside kick attempt for North Bullitt. 6:31 left. They trail by 13. I mean, they really have no decision. They have to. Looks like Garrett Coy will be the player to attempt the onside kick. So coming down near side, you've got all kinds of players. It's on the ground. It's a good one, and it is recovered and picked up by Grayson up the near sideline to the 40. Crossing it down to the 39, Brenton Robinson. He picked it up. He saw some green space. He said, I'm going to take off and take it myself.
Let's take advantage of this, man. Nice play by that young man. Nice play.
Cougs have it. They're going to stay at the 40-yard line. It was a good onside kick, though. 6:28 to go. North Bullitt's coach is very unhappy. I'm not sure if he's unhappy at one of his players. I don't know that he has any reason to be upset at the officials right now.
He must have looked at the scoreboard.
1st and 10. Mudd goes out wide to the right. Hawkins joins him. Kept by Chaffins up the middle, no gain. Maybe a gain of 1. Down to the 39-yard line. That is what they're going to give.
Yeah, your goal here as the Cougars is just to run this 6:20 or 6:12, 6:11 left in the game. I don't know how official that is, but
it is
because they've been.
I mean, it's official right now.
The clock a while ago was not running when it should have been. So
2nd
we're
and
good.
9.
But anyway, just run this clock down. Just keep chewing up clock.
At the 39-yard line of North Bullitt, Grayson has it.
Just keep
it doesn't matter how much you win by, as long as you have more points.
That's right.
RPI, which is only a factor going into the 3rd round of the playoffs, and if you get there, it's great no matter what. RPI is only a factor as there's a sweep play far side to Hanshaw. He's hit at the 40 and just falls backward down to the 37. He's going to get 2 yards on the run.
Thought he might continue on to that edge. He cut it back. I think he saw some opening, but nice job by North Bullitt to converge on Caden.
Best part about that, though, is turning upfield is he's staying in bounds.
Right.
And that's the most important thing here is taking that extra 25 or 30 seconds off the clock. 3rd and 7.
Now, what you don't want to do is give the ball back to him here. 3rd and 7. 4:59 left to go in the game.
Unless you score 7 here.
Well, that'd be, yeah. I guess that goes without saying.
Hawkins in motion. Near side. Chaffins rolls out. Dumps it off.
There
Caught
you
by
go.
Grayson
There you
Chaffins.
go.
Turns back to the middle. Dives across the 30-yard line. Move the chains. First down, Grayson County. 8-yard pickup.
Grayson knew exactly where he was on the field because he pops up and points down the field as if to say, first down, Cougars. And that was a dart that Colby threw.
Officially 9 yards down to the 28. Grayson Chaffins is just a very smart football player.
Yes.
And for somebody that has played for 4 years, you wouldn't guess it. looking at him.
Right.
You would think he had been playing since he was 6 years old.
A little kid, exactly.
I formation. Cougars taking that play clock all the way down. It's a pitch to Hanshaw. He turns at the 30 to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Grayson County. Daggers out. Cougars are going to win the football game.
Outstanding blocking around that right end that time for Caden. He did, once he got past the linebackers, it's all him. Outstanding job by Cougars all the way around on that particular play.
28 yards for Caden Hanshaw. Ken, you mentioned that the fans were staying put. They
were still engaged. Not so much anymore.
Now they're heading for the exits. PAT coming for Evan Hasty.
Come on, Evan, hit this one, buddy.
Good snap, good hold, and it is.
He pushed it again, but I
good.
think he was inside the right.
27-7, 3:54 left. Yep. This is Cougar football on K105.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Across Kentucky, treatment providers, state and local governments, and nonprofit organizations are working together to support your pathway to long-term recovery. These providers and communities of recovery will walk alongside you and help you find your recovery journey. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, the KY Help Call Center can connect you with resources right now when you call 833-8KY-HELP. You can also visit findhelpnowky.org to find treatment options near you.
Welcome back here to North Bullitt High School. Grayson leads 27-7, and barring one of the state's greatest comebacks we've seen.
Yeah. Historical comeback. Historical.
Grayson County will be hosting a home playoff game. Evan Hasty up the far sideline, caught back at the 19. Coming up near side comes Avery Kelly. Nice spin move at the 30-yard line. Carries it up to the 32. A little extracurriculars behind the play. Evan Hasty. And it was Dussel. Dussel was giving Evan Hasty a little bit of hand fighting, and Evan Hasty
like
was
what
just
I didn't.
standing
What
there
are you
like,
talking about, man? What's up?
Why are you there, bud? I don't.
Great. I really love the Shane Hall getting down the field in a big hurry. Nice play by the returner spinning out of that trouble.
It was a good job though by Evan Hasty to make sure you don't do anything silly here.
First and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Ball on the North Bullitt 33. They're going to need to go through the air.
Yeah, just keep everything in front of you if you're GC.
First and 10. Dorsey to pass. Nice pressure coming and breaks out of it. Comes near side being chased by two tacklers and he's sacked. Caden Hanshaw comes around the edge. What a play made by the sophomore.
Outstanding pursuit by Caden.
Loss of 10.
Tight coverage. There was a receiver down this right sideline that was open briefly, but it would have taken a great throw to get the ball to him. So outstanding job there in the secondary. You just want to keep everybody in front of you right now if you're the Cougars.
This has been, I think, a really good game plan for Grayson County today as well. I like the two trick plays to open up the game.
Mm-hmm.
You jumped up, you went with an early right hook, and then you came with a left hook. And North Bullitt really hasn't had an answer.
And really since then, you've just been jabbing them to death.
And that's all you need to do when you land hooks early. Whistle blown, and that's a delay a game. Or will they get a timeout?
How many have we had of those today, Sam?
Delay a game called against North Bullitt.
It's at least the third one.
And that's even less of a case because they're play clocks.
Yes, on both ends of the field.
There's not, like at Grayson County, the delay game is a little bit
more
acceptable.
Yeah.
Because the official puts his hand in the air on 5 seconds. He doesn't do that here because there's a massive play clock. Dorsey, two-step drop. Rolls out far side, being chased once again. Ball thrown, and it is incomplete. Broken up on the far side of the field. Great defensive play made by Jimmy Lear.
Yeah.
We've called his name quite a few times today.
Lear is really coming on. 3-4 games. He is. I mean, he's played well all year, but he's really coming on the last few games.
He is coming closer and closer to intercepting one of these passes.
Yes. I thought he may have picked that off, Sam, but not quite.
He's going to get one of them. It's going to come.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
If you're near the ball often enough, it's going to find you. 3rd and long for North Bullitt. I mean, 3rd and really long here. Faking the handoff. Dorsey rolls, throws as he's hit, and that's going to be grounding. That'll have to be intentional grounding as he was throwing out of the sack of Grayson County.
I don't know if he was in the box, Sammy.
Coming down is Maddox Anderson, and I don't know, that ball got to the line of scrimmage, so it shouldn't matter anyways. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's 4th down and long. It would be 4th and...
Right.
I mean, right now it says, in fact, our scoreboard has given up even trying to count, Ken. It's 4th down and very long, and it would be 4th down and very, very long if they called grounding there. So it doesn't matter. They're going to keep the offense on the field because what other choice do you have? They have to get the ball to the 48. Dorsey will throw up the seam, and it is incomplete.
Oh, turned around. Receiver got turned around.
He had the receiver, Childers, in. If he'd have thrown it, it'd have been a touchdown.
Yeah, Childers was just in a gap right between a couple of GC defenders, and just ball overthrown. That would have been probably would have been 6. See, he had a couple of guys near him, though.
And Grayson is going to have the football in the red zone now at the 18-yard line. I know when they did senior night before the game, one of the seniors, and I should have written it down, said, what they always like the, what's your goal and so on. And he said, beat Grayson County. Well, looks like his senior night goal is not going to come through.
These guys, though, from North Bullitt, they've taken a loss here tonight, but there's no question these guys have played hard, and they've made some mistakes, but their effort has certainly been strong.
1st and goal, or 1st and 10 rather. Pitch to Hanshaw. Turns
Team
upfield at the 15, inside the 10, 5. Another strong run for Caden Hanshaw. Might have even gotten it down to the 4-yard line. He did. 14 yards for Hanshaw. Roger Lush now has him 17 carries, 138 yards.
138. I was going to guess 150. But I tell you, the kid, for such a young kid, to be so patient. On that run right there, he waited for that gap, and then he hit it. Just an impress, because your instinct is to get the ball in your stomach and run as hard as you can. And he just shows great patience for such a young player.
Chafin's under center. North Bullitt showing pressure. 2 on the play clock. Snap. Give. Hanshaw, right side. Not even touched. Touchdown, Grayson County. 33-7. 4 yards for Hanshaw. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. .128 to go. And this one
just an impressive
has gotten ugly.
Yeah, an impressive win for the Cougars tonight. You mentioned it earlier. Excellent game plan. Excellent. The execution has been outstanding for the Cougars tonight. A few penalties here and there, but nothing overwhelming as the.
And Hasty, another awkward kick that is good.
I'm not sure what's.
34-7, 128 to go. This is Cougar football on K105.
Hi, I'm Bob with Hometown Hangout Sports Pub and Grill. You might have noticed we don't have fancy decor or celebrity chefs. It's true. We've ignored the trend of upscale dining and extravagant renovations. That gets pretty expensive, And in the end, it's the customer who pays for those upgrades. Not at Hometown Hangout. Our guests come to us for one thing, to have a great time. Whether you're with the family, the whole team, or just friends, you'll love our fun atmosphere, exciting games, and great food. Hometown Hangout on West White Oak. See you after the game.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Grayson County leads 34-7, 128 left in the game. And Ken, this is we talked with Coach Jones over these last couple of weeks, about him maybe getting a little bit more gray in the beard.
Yeah.
Because he's had so many close games.
Right.
Tonight, I think it might be a little bit more brown.
I was going to say, I don't know if that's humanly possible without a dye job, but we'll see after the game,
I guess you could say this is a natural just for men. Comes up near side. Gets up to the 25 on the return. And Brenton Robinson in on the tackle. Be at the 25-yard line. That's where North Bullitt will have it. Grayson County now 3-0 in the district. They will travel to Seneca 2 weeks from today. That is, they're off next week. This is at the 25-yard line of North Bullitt. And Moore was winning 21-13. If that result holds, Grayson County clinches a home playoff game. Now, they would then at least get a share of the district title. And in 2 weeks, yes, Brian Jones, he doesn't want to share it.
No. This is when it's good to be selfish. Greed is good in that situation.
And you want to do back-to-back district titles. Never happened. This is year 51.
Yeah, so rare, over half a century.
Two pass goes Dorsey. Back at his own 25, being chased by Hasty. He's just going to have to throw it away. Our official, he was almost going to catch it. I thought he was going to take it the other way.
I think it was one of those. His instinct was to catch the ball, and he pulled his hands away right at the last minute.
2nd and 10. 1:15 left. Remember to stay tuned in for our 5th quarter show. We'll give out the Hometown Hangout MVP, and that's going to be tough. We got a lot of good candidates here tonight, Ken. I'm not really sure which way we're going to go. You'll have to stay tuned in with that. Play fake. Dorsey fires over the middle to Kelly. He catches it at the 40-yard line and is blown up by Grayson Chaffins.
They're going to say hit. Are they going to call that a hit to the head?
They're going to call that a penalty. Ken, that's a terrible call if they're calling that a penalty. And you know me, I'm not one that's going to complain. That is an awful call.
That was a nice play, though. That was a nice play. Who was that for GC? Took him down.
We do have a final score to report to you, too, Ken.
Yes.
According to our friend P.O. Comet in the comment section.
Yes.
Seneca has lost to Moore 21-13. That didn't hit his helmet.
Did that game not? I thought he got him.
It got him in the back.
Yeah.
At least it's not an ejection. Grayson Chaffins is pleading his case. And
was that Grayson that made that play? Okay.
And he has every reason to plead his case. Not like it really matters that much. At least this is not in college where that would be an ejection and he'd be out the first half.
The next game.
First
half the next game, exactly.
So, again, Seneca has lost, which means that unless North Bullitt scores 27 points in the next 66 seconds, Ken, Grayson County will host a home playoff game. Dorsey rolling out far side. Now comes near side, almost tricked up by the turf monster. He stays on his feet, throws complete to Ern Spiker, and Ern Spiker breaks the tackle back towards the middle, and he runs over another tackler, gets down to the 30-yard line. What a run by Ern Spiker, carrying it down to the 27, 17 yards.
My compliments to that young man. That was an impressive run. He's just a beast, man. That's all you can say. And I tell you, this quarterback, I'm surprised they don't throw the ball more. He throws a good little ball.
I just think that Ern Spiker should touch the ball more.
Yeah, he's a beast.
You don't bring him down for no gain.
Yeah, he's like Hanshaw. It's hard for one player to bring him down.
All alone goes Dorsey. Rolling out. There's been good pressure days. Dorsey up the middle to the 25, 20. Rolling out far side as he crosses the 20. Lowers his shoulder, and he has initiated the contact on that play into Bryce Abersold.
Almost got, and that used up all the clock. That's it.
Is the football game. Grayson County will host a home playoff game for the 2nd straight year for only the 2nd time in program history. Your final score, Grayson County 34, North Bullitt 7. This is Cougar Football on K105.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood. And unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
Protecting this beautiful world requires balancing our needs with the planet's well-being. The biodiversity of North America's wetlands is an indicator of our ecosystem's health. More diverse wetlands with hundreds of species mean richer soil, cleaner water, and abundant pollination, all vital to our basic needs and creature comforts. Join Ducks Unlimited to shape a sustainable future that benefits wildlife habitats and our communities. A public service from Ducks Unlimited.
Cougar football on K105.
Cougs win 34-7. Fifth quarter shows next.
Owensboro Health offers excellent care for your entire family. Close to home in Grayson County with locations in Litchfield, Big Clifty, and Caneyville. Our primary care providers are experts in managing high blood pressure, diabetes, and other chronic conditions, so you can stay healthy and feel your best. Make an appointment today with one of our primary care providers at owensborohealth.org/primary care.
Respiratory viruses are making children sick across Kentucky. Children even get hospitalized at higher rates. But there's one easy way to protect our families. Get immunized. Pediatricians recommend staying up to date on all routine immunizations like flu, RSV, whooping cough, COVID-19, and measles. Most immunizations and boosters are even free. Call 855-598-2246 to find a provider near you. Sponsored by Kentucky Voices for Health and aired by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
My name is Irene. My job is community school coordinator. My mom taught us that it doesn't matter how much money you have, you can always find a way to help. We started the pantry because the needs were so great. We're very fortunate to have the food bank just a few miles down. I just want our kids to experience what other kids experience and learn to say, what do I want to be when I grow up? And not worry about food.
How do you define success? Is it in the mastery of skills, in teamwork, in responsibility and self-discipline? Is it found through communication or through problem solving, innovation? Is it in the inches of small victories that lead down miles of self-discovery to a destination where potential and purpose meet? Prepared and confident, Grayson County Schools. Success is what you make it.
Let's go! Like Deadpool and Wolverine, you can be a hero. Now that's a superhero landing. Save a best friend for life at a shelter near you.
Us? A team? The answer is yes.
Yeah! Look at you! She's coming with us!
No, she's not.
Oh, yes. Visit bestfriends.org today and bring love home. That's my girl!
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Hi, I'm Bob with Hometown Hangout Sports Pub and Grill. You might have noticed we don't have fancy decor or celebrity chefs. It's true, we've ignored the trend of upscale dining and extravagant renovations. That gets pretty expensive, you know. And in the end, it's the customer who pays for those upgrades. Not at Hometown Hangout. Our guests come to us for one thing, to have a great time. Whether you're with the family, the whole team, or just friends, you'll love our fun atmosphere, exciting games, and great food. Hometown Hangout on West White Oak. See you after the game.
Gormley on K105.
Welcome back to North Bullitt High School, where Grayson County defeats the Eagles tonight by a final score of 34-7. With the win and the Seneca loss, the Cougars have clinched a home playoff game for the second straight season. Only the second time that's happened in program history. And now apparently we're playing Country Roads.
Yeah,
Ken.
playing John Denver. That's reason enough, real quick. That's the reason enough to celebrate this victory.
It's because of John Denver?
Not John Denver. The hosting a playoff game for the second year in a row for only the second time in 51 years. That's reason to celebrate right there.
Coach Jones is going to make the very long trek up. He's probably going to agree with us that says that we need like an elevator or something to come up to us.
Needs a pit stop on the. Is that him running at us?
That is right. Oh, he's forgotten.
Now
he's got to go back in. But Coach Jones, we'll talk to him in a couple of minutes. Grayson County wins 34-7. Caden Hanshaw has 3 rushing touchdowns today, and that was on. Let's see here. 18 carries, 142 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's a pretty good day at the office, if you ask this. And Coach Jones, as he should, celebrating with his daughters, Bree and Kinley. And it looks like maybe that, I don't know if that's if that's Elena walking across the field or not. No, it is not. Grayson County wins. Coach Jones is going to run over. We also want to make sure we give a shout-out. P.O. Comet was giving us score updates. Our good friend Roger Lush says that
Thank you, Roger.
Randy Alvey that was letting that in. And it is P.O. Comet because he was a proud Peonia Comet.
Awesome.
So I'm glad Roger shared that. And he says that he's also a member of the best class at Grayson County High School of 1980. That I'm not getting involved.
Yeah, let's not get in the middle of that.
We'll talk to Coach Jones coming up next. Grayson wins against North Bullitt 34-7. It's Cougar football on K105.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Across Kentucky, treatment providers, state and local governments, and nonprofit organizations are working together to support your pathway to long-term recovery. These providers and communities of recovery will walk alongside you and help you find your recovery journey. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, the KY Help Call Center can connect you with resources right now when you call 833-8KY-HELP. You can also visit findhelpnowky.org to find treatment options near you.
Protecting this beautiful world requires balancing our needs with the planet's well-being. The biodiversity of North America's wetlands is an indicator of our ecosystem's health. More diverse wetlands with hundreds of species mean richer soil, cleaner water, and abundant pollination, all vital to our basic needs and creature comforts. Join Ducks Unlimited to shape a sustainable future that benefits wildlife habitats and our communities. A public service from Ducks Unlimited.
I'm Naheem Hines, proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom has muscular dystrophy, and the MDA helps her and kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan, and I'm 12 years old. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. And MDA funds over 150 care centers for kids like me.
For over 70 years, MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Learn more at mda.org today.
Cougar football on K105.
Welcome back here to North Bullitt High School, where Grayson County picks up the win against North Bullitt by a final score of 34-7. We're joined now by Coach Jones. And, Coach, I can tell you this, too. Moore has defeated Seneca, which solidifies Grayson County to have a home playoff game.
Nice.
Next month, we could say, November the 8th. And I know you want to repeat as district champions, but to repeat as a district champion, you have to clinch the home playoff game first. And for that, you got to be happy, because back-to-back home playoff games has only happened one other time in program history. And ironically enough, the team that they played both years was North Bullitt.
So what 2 years was that, do you know?
That would have been like 11, 12. In fact, here, while we're talking, I'll look it up to give the exact answer. If I was good at my job, I would have written that down. But.
Well, it is. I didn't know that happened back-to-back, but we've talked a little bit about these opportunities.
13, 14.
Okay. We've talked a little bit about the opportunities to do some things that, haven't been done. And you could correct me if I'm wrong, because you probably know better than me. But, I don't think back-to-back district championships has happened, because there's only been 3 of them. But, and we talked about controlling our own destiny. And they continue to do that. And, you know, I told you guys a few weeks ago, we kind of went to the mantra of believe. You know, we get a break on believe instead of, you know, reap, which is something that we've used in the past. And it, you know, I don't know if that's the difference, but the last few weeks we've been playing pretty doggone good. And, you know, I told the guys right there before I left is, you know, to me the biggest difference from last year's group and this year's group kind of happened, I think, through last season into this season. And then, you know, I don't know that we felt that way in the beginning of the season, but I think we're beginning to feel that way. But the difference between these groups and maybe, you know, my first couple of years is, you know, when we step on the field, we think we're going to win. And, you know, we think we're pretty good. And the fact of the matter is we are.
Yeah, that's a culture.
Yeah.
To interject something. That's
yeah,
a culture.
Absolutely. And, you know, and I think to start the year, I don't know that we truly believed that. And we, you know, played some games, but we were scratching and clawing, which I think is a great character builder for our team. But I don't know that we fully believed, you know. And I think right now we do. We believe we're pretty good. We believe we're going to win. And, you know, for 2 years in a row now, district championship runs through Litchfield. So it's something to be super excited about. And, you know, I'm super proud of kind of how this team has handled having the target on their back. Because, you know, you saw it as much as I did. 4 or 5 teams called us out. Like, that's the team we want to beat.
We heard it in senior night. One of the seniors said that in his speech. I don't know if you heard that.
I did not. He
hear
said, that. So
beat Grayson County is his goal.
So there's add another one to the list. So, you know, couldn't be more proud of the way they played tonight. You know, it was going to come down to assignment football. They made a halftime adjustment and started blocking their option stuff a little bit different. And I felt like we handled their adjustment well. And, you know, we didn't have probably as much offensive success maybe in the second half. But, you know, the primary goal, to be honest, in the second half was just try to keep the clock running. You know, we're up 20, and we want to see that clock just dwindle away. So, you know, there was some probably differentiation and some play calling. But, you know, then there at the end we hammer 2 home and, you know, busted out to 34-7. So excellent job. You know, there was a lot of guys that played very, very well tonight and very pleased. You know, now we get a week off, and for us, we take the week off. You know, I want them to go somewhere, do something, get away from football and come back hungry to get back on the field, to win a district championship, and roll into the playoffs.
We talk a lot, too, about, in my opinion, games are won and lost in the middle 8. You know, the last 4 of the first half, first 4 of the second half. But for you all, it was the first 4 and the first 8. You came out immediately, and on the first play of the game, you made me look smart because I said on the first drive there's going to be a deep pass. So I got to
first
look
play.
smart.
Didn't waste any time.
I just said first drive, so I opened it up. But you landed an immediate left hook. Defense, they start to drive, stops them, turnover on downs, and then a couple of plays later, you get the big run from Jet. There comes another right hook, and just like that, I think North Bullitt, before they even blinked, I think some of the fans hadn't gotten in from the concession stand yet. It was 12-0.
Mm-hmm.
The start was impressive tonight.
Yeah, you know, and that was the little flea flicker that we ran there first play of the game. Something that we, you know, I had kind of thought about off of our reverse because we ran that reverse that we ran last week a couple of times for good success, and I thought, you know, what can we do off of it kind of deal. And I thought, man, if we have the time, there's just no way when they see Henshaw come this way and then give it to Jet, there's just no way secondary is going to stay deep. And so we ran it a few times yesterday in walkthrough, and every time it was a completion. Twice is for a touchdown, once for a huge gain. And you know, I thought if we could just give enough time. And one of the things we did, and of course it worked out this way again today, is I tried to tell Grayson, hey, you're going to have to slow down and really sell that you just want no part of this play even more, because we were getting too far down the field. And, you know, he had to wait on it today a little bit, but it was so open, it didn't matter. And then we put the little counter gap play in for Jet out of a condensed formation. And, he's just such a dynamic player. To be honest, the one thing that we could probably do better at is getting him a few more touches, because he runs so hard. He makes cuts at full speed. And, I wouldn't know to be 100% fact, but I don't know that he's had a negative play, when he's got the ball in his hands this year. I think everything's going for 4 or 5, maybe 10 or more yards, because he just gets to top-end speeds in 3 steps. And so when he busted that other one, I really thought he was gone. Guy took a great angle on him, from the safety spot. But, those were 2 plays that we just put in this week that the kids executed absolutely perfect, and they were big for us.
Ken, if you want to ask a question, they locked our camera operator up top. I'm going to let her out. I think she's locked. So why don't you ask a question? I'll be right back.
Something that I've noticed all year long, and it's really been evident the last 3 or 4 games. Caden Hanshaw, he is one of the most patient high school runners I've ever seen. Yeah,
that was something that I don't remember who it was, but something that somebody mentioned last year. I don't know if it was, a friend that watches games or, if it was somebody else. And but it was, they noticed that in him last year. Mm-hmm. And at times, there's some situations that I'd actually like him to be a little less patient and just slam it up in there really hard. Right. Short yardage or something like that, and just lower your shoulder and get the 3 yards and that we need or something. And he tries to be very patient on everything. And those last 2 touchdown runs were a cutback because he was being patient, letting them string it out, saw the gap, cut it back, boom, there's 6. And then on the next one, he kind of did the same thing. He kind of hung out there, saw a crease, and then he exploded through it, for another great run. So, I told the 2 Deckers that were on the headset upstairs, that he's just he's a special player. I mean,
can you teach that?
No, it's very hard. I think that is something that's come from his many years of playing. He's been a special player for a long time, and I think, just reps of seeing from that angle of being behind the line and just, all the reps he gets in practice, all the reps he gets in games, and all the years that he's played, I think has led to that.
It's just a habit, almost innate with him now.
Yeah, he's just got incredible vision, and he's got incredible patience. And when things kind of collapse and then it's not there, he does a really good job of not having negative plays and getting back to the line of scrimmage, or even 1 or 2 on the positive side. So he's just a special player. He does a great job on the other side of the ball. We talked about it in the pregame, all the positions that he's played defensively. And so I still want to get Ethan Mudd, going more in our offense, because he's such a hard runner, and something, we're going to have to put a little emphasis on next week or 2 weeks from now when we're getting ready for Seneca. Is, he's had a little bit of ball getting onto the ground and late in his runs and things like that. So something that we'll have to focus on, when we get back, because we need him to take some of the load off of Hanshaw, as well as Jet. And so I'll spend fall break kind of looking at some different ways that we can get those 2 guys going, because they're
on the
really
beach
good
or
players.
in Grayson County.
It'll be at home.
Maybe in a tree stand.
Maybe.
There you go.
Maybe I go to the tree stand just for peace and quiet.
Relax.
Make sure it's sturdy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For all the hunters out there, get a harness. It's no fun falling out of a tree, that's for sure. But we got to do more to get those guys involved. It's nice to not run Colby as much tonight, and I thought he played a really good game and really managed the game well. And just a special group, man. I like we talked before we got on the air, that the computers said this one was going to be a tight ball game, and I told the guys before, I think if we come out and do our job, we're just a more complete team, and just a better team, and they proved me right, which I love when they do that. I think our trajectory is in the right direction for the time of year that we are, And you want to be playing your best football come November, and I think every week we're getting a little bit better, and so that's the way we want to be heading. And now we get a week to rest and relax and heal up and get ready for these last 3 regular season games, and then roll into the playoffs. But it's nice to know that November 8th we'll be in Litchfield.
2 quick things, and I'll kind of combine them here. For me, one of the standouts on the defense was I feel like today was the best pressure you got from the defensive line, especially late in the game on Dorsey, the quarterback. You were rolling him out. You had a couple of sacks in there. You can answer that, and then also just how do you – I know Kaylor and I talked about this a lot over these last couple of years is bye weeks can be a good thing, but it's not always a good thing when you've won, 5 straight now? How do you make sure that it is a good thing? With those 2 questions.
Well, number one, the defensive line. This quarterback wasn't quite as dynamic of quarterback as we've seen over the last few weeks.
But he's still sneaky quick.
He still runs very well, and he does a nice job in their option game. But the kid from Butler, the kid from Bullitt Central, were very more. Those kids were faster than this kid. This kid would hurt you by running, and then he could lower his shoulder and run you over if he wanted to. Now he chose to get on the ground quite a bit tonight, which I'm grateful for. But that helped. I don't know that, like I said, this guy was quite as athletic, and they were more one-dimensional. So they got themselves in some situations where everybody in the stadium knew that it was a passing down. You can pin your ears back and go after it a little bit more when you know that's the scenario. And so that, I think, proved a benefit for us. When you get up, you can be a little bit riskier and go after some people a little bit more. And so I think the combination of all those things led to those guys up front really having a special night tonight. And I would like to add to that, we started Colby at middle linebacker because we wanted to go to this odd man front, which was good for us last year against them. And, we were able, again, because we scored early and did some things to get him out. And I thought Camden Cornwell did a really nice job of coming in and really chopping him down. He was probably our best tackler on 44 because he went at him, about knee high. And that was really, really good. Now, as far as the bye week goes, I have not had the experience of coming back for a week off and it just being miserable and detrimental. I know it probably can be, and knock on wood.
There's a little bit right there.
That doesn't bite me, but I think the kids really. I think it's great for them to have some time off, get away from this, and then come back and say, okay, we've got 3 games to go, playoffs. It allows some guys to get healthy, and so my experience over the last few years is, everybody's ready to get back. They're ready to get back around their buddies. One of the greatest thing about football is the camaraderie, and a lot of them are ready to get back, joking with one another, hanging out with one another for an hour and a half of practice. And I would say that's one of the things that we battle with this group the most is, they get around each other and they want to talk and different things like that. So at times we're like, hey, we got to pay attention and get ready for a ball game here and get through practice.
Having
and
too much fun.
You guys go eat Mexican later after or whatever and do all the talking you want, but. I think this group really, really likes one another. And so, we'll probably have some people go on vacation to different spots and everything. And I think you guys know as much as I do about the time vacation's over, everybody's ready to get back home. And I think that proves kind of the same way for this and how we handle this. I think about the time fall break's coming to an end, there's going to be a lot of these guys that are like, all right, let's get the helmet back on and get back to work and finish the job of this district championship. And so that's been my experience, and I don't think this group will be any different. I think they'll be hungry to get back and go after Seneca and secure back-to-back district championships.
Coach, congrats. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, go Cougars.
That's head coach Brian Jones. Cougars win tonight. We'll come back and wrap it up after this.
Smith Overhead Door isn't just about opening and closing. We're about safety, security, and style for your home or business. As a future designs company, we're lifting expectations across Grayson and surrounding counties with top brands like CHI and Chamberlain.
Hey there, I'm Kevin Brooks with Smith Overhead Door. Whether it's a sturdy LiftMeister for your garage or a sleek Clopay door for your shop, we install and service with a commitment to reliability. Smith Overhead Door, we're opening up possibilities.
Secure your entrance at sohd.info.
Struggling to pay your house payment? Apply for the Team Kentucky Homeowner Assistance Fund today at protectmykyhome.org. It provides up to $60,000 for Kentuckians with a COVID-related financial hardship. The money can be used for mortgage bills, utility payments, insurance premiums, property taxes, and HOA fees. Applicants must meet certain criteria to receive assistance. Check your eligibility today at protectmykyhome.org. This ad was sponsored by Kentucky Housing Corporation and this station.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Struggling to pay your house payment? Apply for the Team Kentucky Homeowner Assistance Fund today at protectmykyhome.org. It provides up to $60,000 for Kentuckians with a COVID-related financial hardship. The money can be used for mortgage bills, utility payments, insurance premiums, property taxes, and HOA fees. Applicants must meet certain criteria to receive assistance. Check your eligibility today at protectmykyhome.org. This ad was sponsored by Kentucky Housing Corporation and this station.
Cougar football on K105.
Grayson County wins today by a final score of 34-7 against North Bullitt. Running down the scoring really quick before we give into our hometown hangout MVP. It started with a 56-yard touchdown pass from Colby Chaffins to Grayson Chaffins on the first play from scrimmage. Cougars were up 6-0 early on. 1-yard touchdown run by Colby Chaffins with 3:49 left in the first quarter, and the Cougars led 12-0. After a couple of turnovers in the second quarter, Grayson County also got a 23-yard touchdown run from Caden Hanshaw, and they led 20-0 at the half. No scoring in the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, North Bullitt had a touchdown on the nice pass from Dorsey to Kelly, and then Caden Hanshaw, a pair of rushing touchdowns in that fourth quarter to bring us to our score of 34-7. We can join you back now into the booth here at North Bullitt, and Ken, it's time to give out our hometown hangout MVP, and we were discussing, I feel like we could just call this the Caden Hanshaw MVP award because he could win it every single week. So we're not going to give it to Caden, and that's by no means saying that Caden didn't have a good game. And same thing with Grayson. Grayson's already won it this year. We don't usually give it to the defensive guys. So how about Jimmy Lear?
I think that would be very deserving. He's really come on, particularly the last 2 or 3 weeks.
He has played very well. We called his name a lot today. I don't even know how many tackles he finished with, but PBUs were a lot.
Right.
We called his name a lot. So Jimmy Lear is our hometown hangout MVP for today's game. There will be no game next week, fall break. So if you're going somewhere, drive safe, enjoy your trip, send good thoughts to us because Ken and I we're not leaving.
We're not going anywhere.
No, we're not. We're going to be holding down the fort in old Litch Vegas. So we'll be there for you for that. But in 2 weeks from today, Cougars will travel to Seneca. That'll be the same time as it was tonight, so 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Our coverage will begin at 6 with the Locker Room Show, and then Breck and Hancock to open up the year, or to close the year at home, and then also November the 8th, home playoff game. So you get at least 3 straight, and you win on Friday. In 2 weeks, you could be looking at maybe 4 straight home games, if not even more. That'll wrap up our coverage tonight. Ken, any quick thoughts? Because I think they're looking at us to get on out of here.
They're ready for us to leave. Impressive. I think Coach Jones was happy with the performance tonight. I thought they were impressive on both sides of the ball. Physical, came ready to play, obviously. So looking good going forward for Cougar fans.
6-1, Grayson County's record. They've won 5 straight. That'll wrap up our coverage tonight. Got to give a huge shout out to coming out of retirement, our camera operator tonight, Kenzie Kinchlow. She came out. I don't know if she's still listening to us or not, but it doesn't appear that she is because she's not having any semblance of a reaction. She did a really good job helping us out today.
Excellent.
She doesn't really know football. I asked her a couple of days ago, and because we were short a crew member today, so she did a very good job. And our director, Simon Drain, did a good job, too. He was official clock keeper for a little bit, and I still think he was right and the officials were wrong. Right, Ken?
I'm going to go with Mr. Drain every time.
Yeah, he's our honorary Hometown Hangout MVP for today's game. Both of them are. So to wrap up our coverage tonight, Grayson County wins 34-7. For Ken Hallett, Sam Gormley saying so long, everyone.